Hello and welcome. It's Roller Weiner Monday here at Trucking Answers and everywhere on the planet. I welcome everyone. I hope that you're all doing good. Today we have the several things going on here. Voting, of course. Be sure to vote. All right, will you go vote, please? That would be really great if you would do that. Go vote. Loves just said they built one of the largest truck stops in the nation. Let's look and see how big it really is. Brake Safety Week results are in. Not too bad, I would say. I have some rates and some stocks tumbling. Yikes. Calm traffic around the country. The winter checklist is here. There's a few things you should probably have. There's a recall on 2020 Volvo VNLs. Do you have one of those? And there's much else going on in the news, among other things, today, as we are every day. So I had Christine, it was first. Alex, the OTR driver, next up there. All right, let's see. What am I doing here? Okay, it's okay. I got that in there. All right. Thought I missed that, and I didn't. All right, and let's see what's happening today. Hello there. Stan Dodge is here. All right, Wilbon 79. Hello there. What's going on? Chip in Republic, Missouri. Brian Hawes is here. Good afternoon. Kelly Patterson. Hello there. Let's see, where did I go off to already? I've already lost my place. It just started. Yikes. Trucker Hershey's here. You can drive the snowplow anytime. You might have to here pretty soon. It was pretty cold this morning, 26. Air Gunner Bob, hello. Cash is King Trucking. What's going on today? George Wilson is here. Sunny in Montgomery, 35. It's not bad here today, it looks like today. Cat is in the sun, so not doing bad there. The grumpy truckers going to vote H. Ross Perot for the election tomorrow. That's great. Wild Bill was first again. That's good. How bad's the fuel economy at Peterbilt that hauls a van trailer? Yikes. Probably not great. 4 miles per gallon. Super great. Kelly is in Myrtle Point, Oregon. Sunny and cool. Wow. You get around out there out the west. How was it going up there? Trucker Beetle Bailey, more dash cam disappointment posted. It was May. We're always disappointed with May if they're just on a dash cam parked somewhere. Columbia George, just delivered to the dairy in Myrtle Point. That's Kelly's hometown. At scale listing while driving Trucker Hirsch, you do the snowplow for minimum wage. Hey, you can do a snowplow here in Indiana. They have signs up all over the place. And they pay way more than minimum wage for snowplow drivers. No, I'm a lot late. I was on time here today, hopefully. No demerits for Dave Johnson. That's good. Alexandra, you're in to help. You're in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's warm. Oh, great. That's super wonderful. Christina, what do they have the FBI look for when they do the fingerprints for the hazmat? What will keep you from getting it? Some felonies keep you from getting it. It's pretty much, you can have some crimes on there and still get it. I don't exactly know what they look for, but there's some crimes, that are still allowed. Basically nothing in the trucking field, that kind of thing. Most felons can get it. So, and almost all misdemeanors are good for it. So, Dominican truck driver, good afternoon. Donkey Bite, what's happening? Let's see, Trucker John, what's up? Donkey Bite, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. This loves 97 parking places is not exactly the largest truck stop in the United States. What time zone am I in? Eastern. I have a Volvo VNL. Luke, okay, a 2020 Volvo VNLs with sleepers. I don't know if they all have them. Okay, either way, when you're driving on the road, it turns out the bunk window may eject itself from the vehicle basically and leave itself on the highway. So what they're doing, they have they're going to notify owners, of course, and they're going to re-put the bunk windows in and seal them in there. I guess they're just sitting in there. There was some kind of problem sealing them in, and now they're going to get them in so they actually stay in the truck when you're driving on the road. Other than that, no problems. I guess it would only affect people behind you. Wouldn't be like a airplane where you sucked out the window. Chris, wishing everyone a Wiener-tastic day. Always a Wiener Monday. Daycab Gear Jammer, good morning from the apocalyptic state, there we go, of California, which may be engulfed in flames. Well, it'll be engulfed in everyone's tears, depending on who wins. The Petro in Rafine, Virginia, claims to have 725. Cash is King Trucking. That's a lot. This loves, that says, this is one of the largest truck stops in the nation. I guess every truck stop is one of the largest. If you listed them all, the largest truck stop in the nation, and listed every truck stop in order, they'd all be on that list. But 97 and 9 showers is not exactly the largest truck stop in the nation. New riots now in the West again, Christina. Yeah, I saw something over by you, right? Oregon, but they were actually declared a riot this time. And the press was all about griping about a bunch of people that driving around with Trump flags on their pickup trucks. That is a protest that they don't like. I'm watching this in a voting line. At least I could pass the time. Joe, well, okay, I voted Friday, for people that don't know, and 24 minutes here in Indiana to go vote early. And we've always done the early voting, not just this year. Indiana's very good about voting. Usually a month before the election, you can go vote in several places around town. There's early voting and stuff, so it's nothing unusual. We've always done it. 24 minutes. I thought it'd be a longer line. Not bad. It moved along pretty good. So when I yelled, of course, like I said, I yelled that this is a protest so that when I went in, because this one happened to be in a church, and there were a lot of people in there, so I went in and the coronavirus couldn't get in because of yelling that. That was nice of me. I helped a lot of people out. Miss Steve, morning. What's going on? Love you long time. I'm glad that you're here. Sir Horse, you voted early in person at the courthouse. They did have voting downtown at the courthouse here, and I thought, that's like the population center of town. So I thought, that one's going to be the longest line. That's where people will think to go. There's a church on a county road out here on 50 South, which I forget the name of the church. The Assembly of God Church, right? Way out of town, way on the edge of town. And so I thought, there wouldn't be that many people, and it turned out not to be super bad there. Here in Indiana, I don't know if it's all places, any voter in the county can vote anywhere in the county, so you don't have to go to a specific voting place on a general election. Leon A1 always good afternoon. Alexandra voted a month ago via mail. Yeah, that's a good way for people that aren't home often to do it. Get an absentee ballot and vote early. Just mail it in. I did that once many years ago, and they sent you a paper ballot with the little punch thing. I should have it here. With a little punch thing that you could actually punch the ballot out so you could send it in. Pretty good. So you don't have any hanging chads or anything. Top midlife trucker's got his roller wieners ready to party. Great. Greetings, Marty. You've been gone for 2 weeks. Good to be back, Columbia, Georgia. Yeah, what's going on? Why are we not on here? So it's good to see you back. Time to go home for the winter. You guys enjoy the festivities. Acceleration rules. Wow, that's super nice. I wish. Trucker Hershey sent a picture of a for sale 2020 Volvo with 100,000 miles for $200,000. Wow. Who is selling that? Is that Joe's Best Used Cars? Right, that kind of place. Wow. Easy payments. That's crazy. How much are these things new? Where's my owner operators? Are Volvos more than $200,000 new for these trucks? The president is here, George H.W. Bush. Roll your wiener. What do you think about all the election festivities, Mr. President? Roller wieners are low carb without a bun. That's true. You don't like wieners between the bun anyway? So happy keto roller wiener Monday. That's perfect, right? Everything worked. See how everything worked out perfect for that? Truckin' Wizard, what's going on? If you said something free and returns, it was true love. I guess so, right. If it just goes into a pit, it never leaves, right? So you don't have to worry about it that way. So perfect. Surprised you didn't cover that trucker that got 20 years for hiding a school bus. Tea extra hot, please. I didn't hear anything about that. That's not in any news that I saw. What driver got 20 years for hitting a school bus? Did I miss something? I mean, I looked at the news before this show too, and I didn't see anything about it. So I don't know what happened to that. The Loves in Madison County, Georgia was just open, has a very large store, showers, laundry. Yeah, this one has a pet walk too. This one is actually in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, the one that they were talking about. 17,000 square foot building. They're like, it's huge. The building at Walcott, I looked it up, is 123,000 square feet just for the main building, besides all the other stuff that they do there. So, I mean, this isn't one of the largest. I guess so. It could be one of the largest. Gear Jammer from Kissimmee, Florida. Wow, what's happening down there? Not much, right? At least not a lot of tourists. It's actually in Madison, Georgia, which is Morgan County. All right, T extra hot. Surprised you didn't cover that. Right, I didn't know anything about it. Steel Horse number 1 is Iowa 80. Right, that's why I wanted to compare it to that to see, is this really close to one of the largest? Not really. Iowa 80 lists 900 parking places. So this one has 97. And they have 24 showers at the Iowa 80, which I don't think is enough a lot of times. But this Loves has 9 showers. What do you think about UPS driver job? Is it worth it? I was actually commenting to the wife this week, and I noticed UPS has their warehouse worker and driver jobs up in Indianapolis again. So, yeah, I mean, if you can get in and stay in there, it's pays good. They got a lot of weird rules, and you're going to have to be, all about driving and being on time and wearing brown socks with your shorts. But absolutely, right now they're advertising $30 an hour in Indianapolis, but they're part-time, meaning that you won't stay past Christmas is what it says. You'll work full-time now, but there's no guarantee after the middle of January that they will keep you. It's the largest Love's, not the largest truck stop. Okay, the headline, Love's builds one of the nation's largest truck stops. That was the headline. They should have said Love's builds one of the largest Loves in the nation. Might have been a better written headline if that's what they're talking about. That could possibly be right. GP Transco, good afternoon. Happy voting week. Yeah, how's the voting going in Illinois over there? Hope everybody got out to vote. It was pretty smooth sailing here, but you have a lot more people living near you than I do near me. So, yikes. Love's puts the locations in places nobody else, like off rural U.S. highways. There are a lot of Love's in the middle of no place. That's true. Always the one in Hooker, Oklahoma is a great one, but this one's in Mount Juliet. There's other truck stops at that same exit. So, but I agree with you, right? You get Loves where there aren't other Loves. Jim C., they check TSA no-fly list, federal criminal records. Oh, okay, this is for the hazmat. The no-fly list? All right. Some felony convictions will disqualify. Right, not everyone. It depends on what it is. There's probably a list on the internet. I would probably go in incognito mode and search that. Which felony disqualifies me? So, would disqualify a driver, so I'd do that in incognito mode. Vote for me, Cassius King, President of the United States. All right, you're late entry. You're getting in a little late on it, so you're going to have to get your campaign wrapped up pretty fast. Christina, I went past the courthouse and the line was all the way down the sidewalk. Was a full parking lot. I'm not voting. Yeah, well, check in your area and see if there's other voting locations. There's 4 of them here in the Lafayette area. One is the courthouse, which I assume is going to be the busiest. And then there's a few scattered around town, like the Assembly of God Church, which is way out of town on a county road, 50 South. So that's the way to do it. See where else you can vote. Tomorrow, it's going to be worse. Jerry Albano, chicken and watermelon, again. Even though it's cold out, hope the day is good. It's better now with that kind of breakfast. The new Loves are excellent. All spaces on the perimeter. No parking. Stupid. Well, drivers will just fill in the spots. That one in Terre Haute only has perimeter parking also. South of Terre Haute on 41. The whole middle gets filled up with trucks, and I don't know how some people get out in the morning. I'd be pretty mad about it. People park just in random places. I never liked the way that parking looked. I never had to park there, but I thought, oh, these people are going to be stuck here. George Wilson mailed you about 3 weeks ago. Good. I hope it gets in on time. Some states you can go 10 days, some states 14 days. Yikes. You just never know. Each state. It shouldn't be state by state, I think. They should be, okay, right here. This is how many days you get. Edward Miller, good afternoon from Central Florida. Good afternoon. Alexander, they do fill in the circle now. Oh, do you have to use a number 2 pencil? They had issues with hanging chads, if you remember. Yes, right. That's because you used to get a metal thing and you'd punch it. But then if you didn't punch it through, it was a pregnant chad, and it was an 8-month pregnant chad, and it was just a disaster. That was a total disaster. And it was mostly Florida, where people apparently don't even have the strength to punch through a perforated piece of paper. So that should all be checked before you give it back to the person, though, right? Here you got a little Q-tip thing, which I thought in Indiana we use electronic voting and on a screen. And you actually didn't have to touch the screen. They give you like a little thing that was about this long and a Q-tip. So you just tapped on the screen. You would just tap on the screen with that, and you took that thing with you. And it was just sitting there to pull out so nobody else touched it. So I thought they did a good job. And, of course, it was old people that are working the polls. They're all behind plastic and everything. It went pretty smooth. Cash King Trucking, you voted for Dole Kemp. Anyone know if they won? Dole Kemp. Who remembers Kemp, the VP candidate? Right. Who do you trust? Who do you trust? I love that. Kemp. At the manhole, you cannot get your roller wiener without a bun. They're all put in buns there. That's true. Roller wieners only put in buns. The 2021 Pete Glider kit asked $255. Well, that's crazy. Okay, you can get a truck for a lot less than that. Are these Volvos? If you can find this Volvo used for $200, I mean, how much is this thing new? That's ridiculous. How do you make any money spending $250,000 on a truck? Happy Roller Minute Monday, everyone. All end users. Jim Trucker, hello there. Truckin' Wizard, can we get that Minnesota representative run for president? No doubt. How about that guy that I talked about yesterday, who is on the side of truckers who thought it's ridiculous to arrest somebody who's driving down the road when he's the one that has a wallet stolen? No, Gear Jim. My friend just bought 2 new Volvos for his FedEx ground fleet, $143 each, and they're plain white. All right. That's what it sounds like, more like it. It should be, even though that still seems like a lot. My W990 with an 18-speed was $179 and it's 605 horsepower, Jason. So can you imagine paying $200 plus for a Volvo? I mean, at 190 something used, that's ridiculous. It's probably one of those buy here. Do they have buy here, pay here for trucks? That's something. Walk in, drive out with the big guy with the air that goes through him. Crazy used car thing. Hello from Salt Lake City. Delayed a customer but getting detention. Sam, that's the way to do it. Salt Lake, where does that load go today? Although I looked all across the country, and because we have weather and traffic on the 10s, everything was calm, no problems. Oh, that was old news. I was going to say I didn't see that story about the truck driver and the school bus. It's one of the largest loves, not the largest truck stops. All right, so the headline is not written that well, really. It should say one of the largest loves truck stops, not one of the largest truck stops in the nation. Because they're not even close to Walcott. Joe, they said the drivers that got 20 years, his wife was naked in the truck. She said it was hot in the truck and the crash knocked her. Really? I just don't remember that story. That's correct. I forgot about that. Cash is King Trucking does have a video about being a UPS seasonal feeder driver. That is true, right? So there's some information about being a UPS driver right there. It's one of his few non-live videos. The biggest truck stop in the nation is in Japan. In Illinois, the dead vote twice. Yes, we always went up there and registered everybody to vote. I took a picture of the police car in Hooker, Oklahoma, and it said Hooker Police. Oh my gosh, that picture would be worth 1,000 words. I always stopped in there and made a point to call the wife and say, I'm here in Hooker, or there's Hooker here, right? I always thought it was super funny. She didn't find it that funny, but I thought it was funny. That, Ron Deal, that was the guy driving a pickup truck hauling a trailer that hit the bus head-on and crossed over the line. I think it was 3 kids. Is this something recent? So pickup truck, that's probably why I didn't pick that one up. Chef Matt is here. Hello, cooking up good things. Day Cab Gear Jimmer. Cash is a vid up for everything I know. Erica and her Bob, I wonder what the liberal meltdown will be like this election. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I'm not as confident tomorrow as I was in the last one of my thought of who would win. Do you know anything about Cheeseman and Transport? I'd love to hear your take. I don't know really anything about Cheeseman Transport. I've seen their trucks. Cash is King, did anyone vote for Connie? It wasn't on the ballot here in Indiana, which I thought was pretty interesting. So, didn't make our ballot. I guess I could have wrote him in with my little Q-tip pen. Kelly, I would think drugs or sex trafficking would bar you. Yeah, any kind of drug offense, sex trafficking, murdering your dispatcher at your last company. Yeah, sex trafficking. All these are disqualifications. But there are other felonies that, some things can be accelerated to a felony where it's not going to disqualify you. And plus, it depends how far out before it was, stuff like that. GP Transco Stir of Drivers came out on Friday freeing Josh. This guy trucks. Check it out. All right. That's pretty awesome. I saw some kind of article in like CDL Life or something about it. I thought, wow, really? And I got to go check that out because I know you were like filming at his house or something. So we want to see the palace this guy lives at. I want to see this big house. A truck driver pulling doubles for UPS told me they start you at 22 on some other pay. City's already made 100. That's a lot. At $22 an hour, you got to work a lot to make $100,000. It's 30 in the ads in Indianapolis. $30 an hour in the ads. And by the way, there's another ad this week in Indianapolis for $30 an hour local job, $105 a year. So not bad. Local, home every day in Indianapolis. So that's where I look because I'm in the area. And I thought, you know what? It's almost worth commuting down there for that. Jim C., can I vote out of state? I don't know about that. I don't think so. You're going to have to go back by now. The voting's tomorrow. So to get an early vote, you're going to have to go back to where you were. Anybody that wants to vote early, that's a driver, should get an absentee ballot mailed to their house way early. Trump is grinding while Biden is hiding. That's pretty good. I don't know how good that would make on the side, but that's not bad. Oh, this guy trucks. There he is. What's happening? It's good to see you. GP Transport was just saying that a video featuring you coming out, so I'm going to go check it out to check out that big house you got. All right, 7,000 square feet. I want to see every square foot of it. New York State going cashless tolls after November 7th. No more cash. All right, finally. Waiting in that line, ridiculous. It's going to be like the Kentucky Bridge. 65 into Kentucky, you just keep going. And if you don't have money, they send a picture of you to your house, and that's how you pay the toll. So that's the way to do it. Alex, the OTR driver, voted 2 weeks ago. All right. I'm glad people have gotten in to vote. If you haven't voted yet, you should go in and vote. Please don't mail it in today. There are people. What are people doing? They said, "Oh, this is disenfranchising." Why haven't you mailed your ballot in yet? What are you doing with it? Sam, anyone remember the pilot off I-70 in Denver near the Purina plant? That was the worst of the worst. A lot of them are bad. I don't remember a Purina plant out there. I'd always go out there with beer cans. It seems like beer cans would come out of Virginia somewhere, and you'd get a load of beer cans that went over there. Weighed 7,777 pounds. I always remember that on the bills because it was always a good vote, a good load. I'm seeing this here. I voted for Mondale. Mondale's, he's still alive. And what's her face? Oh, I can't think of her name. I'll get her name in a minute. It was an interesting place. Oh, good. Vampirist, hello there. Yes, they do have to buy here, pay here for trucks. Really, Jason? So buy here, pay here. Walk in, drive out. No credit check, right? We finance everyone. Boy, that sounds like a great deal. What's the payment there? What's the interest rate in that kind of deal? Holy moly. If you got to go to that place, all right, go be a company driver for a while and get some money together or something. Kenneth B., but like a corn dog, isn't it wonderful to have your roller arena wrapped from beginning to end? It is nice, too. Sometimes. Depends. Depends on what bun you're putting it on. Delivering to Costco distribution center, then yard for a reset. How long are you going to be at Costco? Yikes. Some, I guess, are good and some are not good. Paul, it was that Cassius King's lease, Volvo, or the International Pro Star. That is true. Anyone looking for an opportunity, I do know Cassius King Trucking has an opportunity. He's going to lease an International Pro Star with the Max Force, and he said it's unique. You're going to get a unique truck because you don't see those anymore. Force. He said Max Force. You can just force your way right up the hills with it. Vampirist Hooker makes me giggle. I know. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, they have a truck stop in a place named Hooker. And by the way, that's like the perfect place to build it because it's like at the great place to stop there on 54. So what do you think of the cop sitting on the emergency shoulder waiting to catch someone? I don't like it. They shouldn't be there. Middle. I don't even like them really being in the middle. They shouldn't sit on the shoulder. That's for emergency stopping only. Steel Horse Hooker has a t-shirt store. Oh my gosh. Why are we not wearing Hooker shirts? I never saw the t-shirt store. Is it walking distance to that truck stop? Best route on the planet, Hooker to Moorhead, Kentucky. Oh, I wonder if you can get across there. Jerry, you need to come to Alabama. We can go to Alabama football game. All right. And then go to Dreamland Barbecue across from the college. That'd be great. Dreamland Barbecue. I heard about it. It was a semi. The wife said the wreck knocked her underwear. Is that a true story? Or am I being punked? That might, for all the way people are talking, it could be true. Alexander did 2,900 miles this week. That's a pretty good week. That is a pretty good week. I had the paper ballot fill in the circle. All right, so do they send you the... did you do that there, or did you do it at home, and do they provide the pencil? Because we haven't had paper here for a while in Indiana. It's been electronic voting. Screwing the boss's high horse in front of him on your way out is a sure way to get you disqualified. Right, that's true. If you can bank online, you should be able to vote online. See, the problem is banking online sometimes gets hacked. How do we know that the person voting, if you're online, is the one doing the voting? And it's kind of the same, I guess, for a mail-in ballot, really. How do we know that the person voting is the one doing the voting? I mean, it is something to consider. Would bank robbery prevent one from passing a hazmat check? Asking for a friend, I'm not sure. I mean, only if you robbed a truck that comes to the bank, right? Maybe then. But not the actual robbery itself. Good job, Alexandra. Keep on trucking. Yeah, no doubt. 2,900 miles. That's going to be a pretty hefty check over there. Day cab gear jammer. Hey, this guy trucks. Now that you're a famous celebrity, are they going to start watering down your videos and not letting you cuss everybody out in your lives? I don't see... Look, I'm not him, but I don't see him ever changing that, right? Don't ever change who you are, right? Shoot Rooster, right. Ferraro. That was her name. Geraldine Ferraro. Right, I should have remembered that from Geraldine from the 70s. Anyone voting for George Trump? That'll be in a few years. Dominican truck driver. I think local's the way to go. People have been saying Ivanka 2024, so I'm doing over the road and respect anyone who wants to do it, but the pay with all the companies is not worth being away from family. I think Dominican, yeah, there's only a few companies. There are not that many companies that give you a considerable amount of pay to be gone. So, 40, 50 grand if you're gone for 50,000, you can make that be a local driver. You can. So you need to make a good rate of pay to be gone, or be single. I think it's great for somebody that's single because you can live in the truck. So then even if you're making 50, 60 grand living in the truck, hey, you got it made. No bills. So that's the other benefit of it. But for a person that has a family, to make 50,000 and be gone, you can just make some phone calls and make 50,000 and be home. Don't know about my criminal past, George Wilson. We used to swipe apples from old man Wild Vincenzo's car. Was this, were minis driving through the fruit stands? Hey, what do you do? Taking my apples. This guy trucks. There'll be no changes. That's what I kind of assumed, right? That's who you are. You can't change who you are, right? Paul Harris, have you seen the latest YouTube channel? It's a prime driver, cashless gig trucking. That'd be a good one. He has a UPS feeder driver job too, where he just wants to go do it and make money. Alexandra, I usually vote Libertarian, but I'm so sick of Trump, I voted for Biden. Really? You switched from voting for Joe, right, to Jorgensen to Biden? That's really something. Cash has a video about hookers. He has a video about everything. They have a True Value store. Oh, that's really something. Hooker True Value. We should go there and buy something from every store just to get the receipt. The Loves of Mount Juliet is actually off of 840 exit 67. Loves is the one that said it was Mount Juliet. That's what they're calling it. Mount Juliet Loves. Maybe to get in on all the other truck stops in the area. Walter Mondale's running mate was Geraldine Ferraro. Yeah, I forgot her name. Is she still living? She may not be living. Chef Matt, come to Spokane County, Washington for seasonal trucking jobs. Paying CDL plow truck drivers minimum wage. If I had a CDL, really? Here in Indiana, they're paying CDL drivers to drive snow plows $16 or $18 an hour, something like that. It is, but only for the time you work. So they could call you in if it's a bad winter. You're going to get a lot of work. They said they recommend it for retired people, of course. If not, you don't. They call every call-in's a 12-hour call-in here in Indiana. There's big signs and stuff all around the state about it. George Wilson, you don't drink beer, milk, so what do you like to drink? I generally take water with me. I have water all the time. There's a bottle here, and I take water with me to work. So, yep, just water. I love Hooker. That would be the shirt to have. I mean, really? Why don't we all have one? I never saw one there. Alex has been running recaps for 2 weeks now. Been running 3,500 per week. Last week you got 3,900 miles, taking a 34 next Friday. Wow. Are you doing food, though, or something that is exempt, or are you really doing it? Oh, GP Transco is at the This Guy Trucks Castle. Yeah, you can stay in one of the wings, right? The servant's wing. You could stay over there, and it's pretty nice. Up in the turret area. Pretty good. Join people into the live, Mark. And what do you mean, join people into the live? How do I do that? Let's see. It's a true story, that video inside the bus. These poor kids. Right. Well, that's true. Driver blamed the company for not keeping the truck in good condition. Well, don't drive it if it's not in good condition, of course. How do your drawers fall off in an accident? Two-wheel junkie. Hello from Austin, Texas. The COVIDs are killing your barbershop business. And recently got your CDL. Maybe now Dad would be proud of you. Maybe. Hey, if you're making a living, I'm proud of you. Mark, as a local driver, Gino, what do you leave in your truck and what do you carry with you? I take everything back and forth with me. I don't really leave anything but a pen basically in the truck, but I don't really take anything with me because I'm coming back every day. And I have a sleeper now, so I just take my water with me, basically. Gloves, all that stuff. And that's it. A vest, because some places make you put a vest on. A CB, and my ham radio. But I have a plug-in CB that goes in cigarette lighter, meaning a handheld. So I just plug it in, boom, it's turned on. Alexander, I have mileage pay plus $750 plus mileage bonus second week of November. All right, now we know where you can get some of those shirts out in Hooker. Chef Matt, this guy Trucks has uglier behaviors than he even thinks. Oh, his face. This guy, if you've ever seen him, right, this is one of the most handsome people. I saw this guy Trucks video. Look, it's a great channel. Everybody please go check it out. I thought Flip Wilson was Geraldine. Right, exactly. That's what I'm thinking of. Flip Wilson. I'm like, oh, Geraldine. That's why I couldn't realize I couldn't remember her name. Vote Joy, your communist VP Harris. If Biden wins, that's she'll be the president sooner than that. Have you been to the buffet in Hooker? The Hooker buffet is all you can eat. Oh my gosh, who wouldn't want to start that buffet? Chef Man, imagine passing through the town of Weed. It was quite a trip. Double entendres were intended, no doubt, in Weed, California, too. While Bill was on a tour of Hoover Dam and bought a dam shirt, that would be a good place, too. Too bad we can't drive over that anymore. Anybody get to drive over that before they eliminated trucks on that route? That was really amazing. Biden wants electric trucks by 2024. I mean, even if he wanted that, it would be impossible to get all the trucks changed over to electric by then. There's nowhere to plug them in. You can't just plug in like in your house. How long would it take to fill up your truck? You only get 3 to 4 miles per hour in a car, a Tesla car, on a plug, a 110 plug. So how long would it take to charge a semi? You'd only get to use it once a week. Dominican truck driver, being single, I would not mind it, or being a real owner-operator, then I would sacrifice if you're making good money. Yeah, if you do the owner-operator thing right, as we know from many on here, like Cassius King and many others, right, and hopefully this guy Trucks follows that way too, there's plenty of money to be made if you do it right, if that's something that you want to do. Yeah, I saw that you had a white truck too. How'd you get even you don't have a teal truck anymore. T-shirt store's a half mile from the Love, Steel Horse. Oh, might have to call Uber. Is there a Hooker Uber? Oh my God, is there Uber for hookers in there? Hooker Uber, that's what it would say on the car. Why do you have a sleeper truck now? Because I do a different run, and that run had a sleeper truck on it. So since I'm going to the Natty, that's what the kids say. There's a sleeper on that truck, on that run. So now I have a 19 Cascadia sleeper. So it's got an APU and a bunk heater. So that's pretty good. So I'll never have to come into a cold truck. I have them all set for temperature so that they'll just start up when it gets cold out. And in the summer, I'll just change it over so that the air will run in it. It'll be nice and climate controlled when I get in. That's pretty good. Oh, they have a come and go at Hooker too. That'd be really something. Yeah, GP Transco, a couple of months of work completed. I know, well, just the filming and setting up and the permit. I'm assuming you got to have permits and that kind of thing too for a place like that. You know, it's really going to be something. Food loads, both dry and reefer. I have a high stamina thanks to working 16-hour shifts when I worked at Mazda. Speaking of which, got to renew my VA inspection. Something to do. Yeah, Alex, your communistic inspection here in Indiana, you can drive any hunk of junk down the road that you want. You don't have to inspect your car, nothing. We don't care. Other than a couple of counties have emissions, but nothing down here. I did see that. GP Transco is an owner-operator, had a white truck. Oh, now that you're on, I wanted to say I saw a deep, like hunter green Volvo a couple weeks ago for GP Transco, and I wondered if that's another one of your secret, like you have 5 of these deep blue trucks. Is this kind of some other kind of secret green Volvo fleet you have going on, or was that an owner-operator pulling one of your trailers? It was in Indianapolis. Sam, in Fairplay, Colorado, they had a shirt that said, get your up the pass shirt because there's a mountain pass on either side of the town. That'd be good, too. Do you really have a handheld plug-in CB? If you are for real, how about a review and more info on it? I do. A Midland handheld plug-in CB. Yeah, it's perfect for people who may change trucks a lot or just want to put a CB in and don't want to mount it in the truck. So, yeah, I absolutely do. That's 7.8. 755, 785. I don't remember the actual numbers of, but yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't get out far. I will say that it's full 4-watt power, and it also has batteries. If you want to do that, you can put batteries in it and carry it out with you. I don't know if you'd want to do that, but you could. And so, yeah, but I think it's super simple, and you could just use it because, like at a truck stop, you could use it. If you're at a shipper or receiver, you'll be able to hear them, calling you on a certain channel. It's 40 channels. Anybody around you in traffic you can hear, but it doesn't go very far. But how far do you want to talk on the CB anyway, really? Alexander, I had my roller wieners for breakfast and my stomach had a fist fight with them. Nice perks of being Irish. That's the greatest line. Your stomach had a fist fight with your breakfast. That's very good. Chris, what's the current market value of a 2005 International Sleeper? I have one to sell. Oh, in hundreds? Do you want that in hundreds? How do you want that put out? Yikes. Okay, GP Transco. The Volvo's an owner-operator. We're not ordered a new Volvo in 3 years. I just wondered because you had this secret. I saw this deep blue truck a while ago, and you're like, oh, we have a secret fleet of 5 deep blue trucks or whatever. And I thought, oh, here's like a hunter green Volvo. I thought, oh, I bet there's a green fleet or something there where they have 2 green trucks that they ordered. So, okay. Sam, are you running Kenworths now at GP Transco? I've seen a couple on the road, or are they owner-operators? They do have Kenworths, as a matter of fact, over there. Steel Horse, they work snowplow guys all winter here. They cut a lot of trees down. Do they have the snowplow guys take those trees over to the lakes, too? In some areas in the lake, they throw trees out on the lake, and then when the lake melts, they sink them. So here, in at least the signs I've seen here and the ads around the Lafayette area, because in Lebanon, there's a big highway department building that I go by almost every day. And there's signs, be a part-time snowplow driver. And they're not, because you may work, 3 or 4 shifts a week. And if it doesn't snow, you may not work at all. So they're only requiring a B CDL naturally. Gear Jammer, I live in Oklahoma, and we have many towns other than Hooker. I know, but that's really funny because it's right there on the road where everybody goes. I graduated from Bowlegs High School in Bowlegs, Oklahoma in 81. There were 17 of us. Really? Bowlegs? Wow. Is that next to Hooker? Dominican truck driver. These mega carriers treat new drivers so bad. That's why a lot of newbie drivers feel like quitting the industry in the first years. I agree. I totally agree. I mean, they are griping about driver turnover and then treat people like garbage and then wonder why it isn't turnover. They can't retain anybody. There's plenty of people coming in. UPS was griping they couldn't get enough trainers. Well, how can they be short on trainers if there's a shortage of drivers coming in? They have plenty of people applying. They can't get them trained fast enough. GP Transco, we bought 4 Kenworths to test out for a few of our teams and see how they're miles per gallon wise. How are they doing mile per gallon wise, by the way? With the Max Force, the International will be 5,000. Yeah, and the engine free. It's worth the same amount without the Max Force in it. Max Force are garbage. They were totally the worst. The few that we had, I didn't have one, fortunately, but I would occasionally have to drive it. I would have to regen the thing every 2 or 3 hours. You'd have to stop for a parked regeneration. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't get anywhere. Still, Horse should carry a ham radio everywhere. I agree, right? A portable for a truck, again, perfect. Take it with you. No problem. You can have it everywhere, and the battery lasts longer than the CB, certainly. And you can get out places, right? Literally worldwide. How long did I do over the road? 20 years over the road right in there. Mm-hmm. Misty Eye Drive-Thru Intercourse, Pennsylvania. That is out there, too. They don't have a shirt store, though. I think they should, though. Eddie McFadden is here today. Hello. Yeah, I mean, I got kind of tired of the same thing that other people do in that, in the road and more regulation and all the scales, and it's just parking is a disaster. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go find, a thing to do where I could do the same thing every day and not have to worry about where I'm going every day. That's what bothered me the most. I want a steady thing. I don't want to work so many hours, and I just want to do the same thing every day and know what I'm going to make every week. And so that's what I do. That's not for everybody, though. That's for me. Other people may not like that. The controversy was with Ferraro's husband and John Zaccaro. Rumor he was made a guy with one of the 5 families in New York. Oh, he was a made man? Yeah, that's okay. Look, hey, people made men got to work too, right? Chris, yours has a Cummins, no DEF and a 10-speed. I was thinking around 18. Really? Maybe, since there's no DEF. I don't have any idea. Some owner-operator would have to chime in on that. There is a Blue Balls, Pennsylvania. That is correct, Alexander. How it got named like that, there's a blue ball factory there. So they started competing with the red balls that you get in gym class. So, Christina, how many hours do I work every week? Now, about 37. Yes, it is crazy, but I had 37 hours, 9 minutes last week. So that's where I am, high 30s every week or so. It's just Cincinnati I'm back. And it's a drop and hook for me. Down there, pretty easy. So now, as long as everything goes smoothly, no problems. But again, that isn't for everybody. And because of that, I don't make a lot of money, right? I don't make much money. We have runs up to 70 hours. So you want to make more? That isn't any problem. You can make more. We have some shorter runs too, but they go up to Chicago and they go north. I don't want to go north. So this run is easier, and I like working in the evening. That's what works out for me. Sleeping at the same time every day, getting up in the morning, right, whenever I feel like it, so I don't have to set an alarm. That's what works for me. You should find something really that works for you. How do you like to sleep? Are you a morning person or a night person? And then go do that. Don't try to make a job fit into that. Go get a job that already fits what you're doing. Go find the right job for you. This job works for me. Let's see. I have went through 2 driver managers in my company. Alex, that's super. One got fired and the other didn't like me because I didn't take crap from anyone after being a mechanic for nearly 10 years. Exactly. And you probably go through 3 more there. That's so aggravating. Driver managers, and where they have 30 or 40, 50 people to do that, that's ridiculous. 50 people. They can't get you anything. They can't get you going. Still average 2,700 to 3,500 miles a week. That's good considering they didn't like you there. My buddy works for a mail contractor. Does Denver to North Platte every day, drop and hook on both ends. Sam, that's not bad. They do a lot of that out of Indianapolis. Solo is one down there, and Eagle is another one that I see in ads all the time. And it pays 31 something. Now 5 of it goes to insurance or whatever. But yeah, they do all this drop and hook everywhere, and I know those guys don't have to wait. If I wait, I get paid. But ride with the mail, the way I understand it, at a certain time at 7:18 or whatever, they leave. And so that there's no waiting because the truck has to run on time. So I think that's pretty good way to do it too. And doing the same thing I like to do. Most people don't like it though. When people write to me, they go, "Oh, I don't want to do the same thing every day." I'm like, "Why not?" Because to me it works out good. Alexander, I nailed my teacher in the face with a red dodgeball in high school. It was by complete accident, but it was funny. It would be. 1 week out of school for you. Dominican truck driver, but back then companies were more family-oriented, probably, and you got treated better. They were, but, I never went to a large, really mega carrier. Regal Transport, where we did flatbeds. We must have had 15 or 18 trucks. Godo Distribution had 10 trucks out of Bloomingdale, Illinois there. I wouldn't have a lot of these large companies to go with. But a lot of these family companies, the person that started the company is dead or retired, and they give it to their kids, and then the place turns into a disaster of only making money at no matter the cost of it. Just to make money. Jim Trucker, by the time I get home this afternoon, I'll have 3,400 miles, and I'll be doing a reset. Wow, everybody's getting all these miles. That's crazy. They did say, and plus rates are way up, way up. Vans 246, reefers 260, flats 246, up 10 to 18% from 2019. So they said there's a huge need for trucks. So everybody, especially people on percentage, should be doing good. TMC, which is a big percentage company, those guys should be doing great over there. He has a 5:33 departure time from the USPS distribution center. Right, exactly. I know it's always a weird time, but he was not the person hauling the mails. These guys do not wait, especially the local drivers. So at 5:33, they leave. There isn't waiting time because you're not waiting. So that works out pretty good for them, right? And it's a lot of it, from what I understand, is on rolled carts, right? You roll it in, and if there's nothing ready, you leave. The next truck gets it at 5:47. Dave Johnson, I did OTR for 7 years, then been at the same LTL company for 23 years, and now working in a dedicated capacity and couldn't be happier. So it worked out perfectly for you. Same check. You know where you're going. You know the road, the truck stops, everything. It works out really good for the right person. And look at how long you've been there. Look at that. They probably love that. That's longer than I've been. I'll be 19 years in the spring at one place. So you got time on me at one place there. Chef Matt, Medical Lake is a neighboring town. The raw sewage dumped in the lake destroys the medicinal properties. Too bad it's just a drug-infested town with a loony bin. Great. Is that on the sign? Welcome to the drug-infested town with the loony bin. Cash is King Trucking. The active ingredient in my roller wieners just went active. My belly sounds like the MGM lion. The active ingredient. They're time-release wieners. Oh, that'd be a great band name too, wouldn't it? Time Release Wieners. I have 1 million this week with no reset jibs. See, that's going to be a good check. Even at Western Express, that'd be a good check. Kenneth Snyder, sorry so late, but been very busy and hectic. All right, well, glad you're here. Jim, I'll be in the great city of San Antonio. I can never forget that place. Never. Always remember it. Steel horse, they usually cut it up and burn it. If it's good burning wood, it goes in a wood stove. The rest gets pushed into a ditch. Oh, okay. So they're still doing some environmental work with it. I know in some areas they take trees, and a lot of Christmas trees too. They tie a brick to them, right? And throw them out on the frozen lake. Don't they do it on Lake Erie and Superior and that? And then when the lake melts, the trees sink. And I guess fish live in the tree then. Dominican truck driver, I've been through 4 DMs already at Western in 9 months. They quit. It's aggravating because every time I'm getting along with someone, they change them and don't even tell you. Look, why would they change you from somebody that you work well with? What is the point of that? I thought, if it's something you have a problem, but if you two work together, why not leave you there? Your company just offered 75% alone, 100% of the fuel if I have my own truck. Currently shopping for one. All right. That's not bad. There's some places paying more, but that's better than some. Landstar's less than that, so depends how much they're getting too. What do they get there a load right now? Look, like we're looking at rates: 246, 260, and 246. So what are they getting? That'd be a good way to figure out. Figure your week out this week. What would you have made? And apparently, you can get a buy here, pay here truck, so that'd be good for us beginners. It's the general consensus that we would likely have to go to Megacare for the minimum 1-year experience that companies are looking for, two-wheel junkie. No, you don't have to. You don't have to do that. A lot of people do to get the truck school. But truck school can be free in most states now. Call the Department of Unemployment. They'll send you to truck school for nothing. They give you a grant for it. You don't owe anybody any money, and then you don't have to go to one of these horrible places. You can work out going to a different place. Does anyone know if the Cherokee Trading Post is still operated in Clinton? I don't know. How about 3 Arrows? That place closed a while ago. Twin Arrows, I think it was called. Don't forget, Intercourse is only 7.5 miles from Blue Ball. How convenient that is. So close. Chef Matt, this guy trucks, you missed the blue ball, red ball PE joke. Oh, well, that's all right. I think we need to invest time in the senator who is also CDL card holder since 1992. Maybe he could be our advocate to fix the truck in history on the driver's point of view. Look, this guy, that he came out in Minnesota and saying the drivers are just out trying to make a living and maybe we could leave them alone and take people off the interstate, which I say either plow them off, now that it's wintertime, or hose them off with a fire hose. And he thought it was disgusting. And I thought, but it's about time somebody says something about this. Why do we allow this kind of behavior in the United States? What is going on? Donald Stone, Trump's going to win. All you crybaby truck drivers, if you don't complain when your taxes go out. Okay? Maybe. I will say maybe. I was more convinced he would win in 16. I knew then in 16. I don't know this time. Cherokee Trading Post is still operating in Oklahoma. All right. So you got to start telling them when you want to get home, and it's just this bad because they don't know your routine. Dominican truck driver, right? It's hard to have a routine on the road, especially at a company that's not great about getting you home. So, absolutely. Only partake in the Frankfurter Friday, so you have the weekend for the stomach battle. The stomach battle. That'd be a good mid-season replacement show. Does anyone know if Keebler still goes free cookies out in the Michigan plant? Haven't been there. Oh, that was great. I used to drive for Keebler all the time. And they forever gave out cookies. I would bring home fudge stripes and pecan sandies and all that. Oh, my gosh. Those guys could have cared less. They would just come and break cookies. They go, what do you want? I go, well, what do you got, any fudge stripes? He goes, let me go look. And he'd just throw a case on the ground. He did that once. He brought it out. He threw it down. He goes, oh, look, these are all broken. You could take them. Unbelievable. Do you grant someone stays out over a month? They don't have a home, but a place to keep their stuff. Well, that's basically, I don't know. Staying out for months at a time, you might as well not have a house, right? Or any really length of time. It's almost pointless. You're only there for a short period of time. If it works for you, I mean, okay, but it's you only have one life, right? You only get to go through once. Don't give up too much of it on the road unless you're really getting paid. I say 100 plus. I'm on my second DM, Sam. The first one went to the brokerage division. Well, my current one was a driver. That's great. Which is a lot better since he actually understands it. That'd be great. They should all have to be either be drivers or go with a driver. I would say 1 week per quarter. They should have to go out with somebody. I don't gripe with my DMs because I run, but they just leave it like the driver's Dominican. Yeah, if it works. I'm about to test drive and apply a new truck for a new Mack Anthem. Wow. Lease on it, Landstar. Good truck. Well, I like the way they look. Landstar is people love it on YouTube. I don't know that much about owner-operator companies. It's not the highest paying place. Aren't they in the 60s? In the high 60% range? So you can get more than that. But it depends how many loads they have and stuff. Here, Gunner Bob, I don't know what they're getting, but my boss told me I'd clear $18,000 per month. Dedicated loads. Well, I'd want to know, honestly, if I was going to put that kind of investment into it, I'd say, well, look, let's show me some numbers here so I can know what I'm doing. I mean, if he won't show you, then that would be a problem. So I'd ask to say, look, let me see what these loads pay because I want to put a truck on. If he won't, that's a problem. What do you think, Mark? I said you are to talk to us about yesterday on your Sunday rant. Kenneth Knight, what do you think, Mark? But I said, are you talk to us about yesterday? What do you, I don't know where that went off to. Don't forget about Climax, Michigan. I've forgotten about it. Tony 5000. Hello, blue parrot wearing, roller, wiener eating, young looking, trucking answers. God, well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. You drove a new Mack Anthem last week. Not impressed with the ride. Really? They look cool. Wish I knew about the unemployment grant. I flipped 3 cars to pay for the private truck school of $4,500 plus food and fuel. Then my car got bad gas and killed it. Used a motorcycle. So did you pay for it cash? You know, a lot of places have these things, $4,500. You can get that paid back. So use the motorcycle to get there in the wintertime. That's pretty much dedication. I make $80 a year in home weekends, Luke. Yeah, see, so I still think it should be $100, but $80 is good. 80 is good, right? Let's agree that's a good amount of money. Considering all you need is a high school diploma, some places only a GED. You can usually have a felony or two. That's not bad. There are people that go to college that make 30 that serve you at the restaurant. Kenneth Snyder, if you guys know how to back up and don't mind driving on roads with no shoulder at 70 miles an hour, Interland is hiring. They start out at 46 amount. Want to prove yourself at 6 months. Interland. I never heard of them. I agree, Mark. Just show me the next time I'm at the office, Air Gunner. Okay, yeah, look, as long as he'll show you the numbers. You know, them flapping their gums at 18,000 doesn't mean anything, right? What are the actual loads paying that I'm taking so that you can figure out exactly if you would have made that much money? Then we know, all right, now I'm making some money. Subtract your truck payment and all that from it. Fuel, however much that costs you. Theo, Landstar and Mercer are all better than Roadrunner. At least you can make a decent profit. Everybody's better than Roadrunner. Their stock is down again this week, by the way. Their stock is now, whatever, $1.89. Down 15% from last week. Yikes. Where's that guy from Sell It On to help him out? I just got a new DM, Opie Knievel. Company's hiring DMs, and they asked me if I'd be on his fleet. He's a former driver. I figured I'd give him a chance. All right. Hopefully he knows what he's doing. I mean, it's almost like a company hires you new. You're working for a new person that has never dispatched. So let's hope that it works out for you, because if not, you're going to be sitting around a lot, and we can't be having that. Hopefully they do keep you rolling. Brake Safety Week results, 13% of the trucks were put out of service. They said 13% of, how are trucks put out of service for brakes that are auto-adjusting? Almost every truck has auto-adjusters now. There's really nothing to do to them, but yet all these trucks are put out of service. Alex, the OTR driver, your DMs were drivers. The last one would smack his lips whenever I had to turn my truck in the shop or tell me to be back to my truck in the afternoon whenever I get home. That's kind of weird, but I don't know, or maybe kind of complimentary. I used to load up on Wrigley's gum at 35th and Ashland when I'd get sent over there to the Spotted Switch Trailers, George Wilson. That'd be great. Fago was another one. Out in Detroit. I remember going there in Detroit all the time at Fago, and they had a cooler in the break room, and you could just get all the Fago you wanted. But I'm like, who wants any Fago? You know, why would I even want any? That's why the cooler was always full. I assume nobody ever took it. So, but you could get free Fago. Chef Matt, if it isn't diesel, it's not a workhorse or oil, right? First load off home time was 2,300 miles. That's the way to do it. All right, I love these long, on the road, that's the only way I would do the road. These companies that, give you these 300-mile one-day loads and that would aggravate me to no end. I hate delivering loads and picking loads up. I just hate it. So maybe I would do those if it was drop and hook everywhere, but there's no way I'd deliver loads every single day because to me, it would just aggravate me beyond belief. I don't care. I want a long load to run the whole week. That's the way I like to do the road. It's short, dropping hooks. If you're home every day, that's a different story. Oh, let's see. It's Volvo recall. Oh, right. Tyson. Did you see what Tyson is going to do besides feeding everyone like family? They are going to replace all their mirrors on the outside of the trucks with cameras. They're going to invest $500 million into technology and put cameras in the outside of the truck. Now, I don't know if it can record. I actually thought about that. I go, I wonder if it can record. They'll probably say no. But either way, you'll have screens in the truck instead of the mirrors. And the screen will be on the inside of the truck because these are allowed now. So they're going to invest in it. And I thought, wow, I wonder how much they could invest into detention, paying drivers for detention time. Isn't that great? They said, well, we have to have our drivers be the safest drivers on the road. Yeah, because they're all mad from not getting paid detention. But that's what Tyson is going to do. They have 55 trucks already set up with it. They have 1,000 trucks. Did you know that? I couldn't believe that. They have 1,000 trucks. 55 of them have this set up on them. It's Mr. Plow. All right, hello. Air Gunner Bob. Fago in Detroit is tight in the loading area, and backing into a shaded area isn't fun either. But then you got free orange Fago in the break room. How great is that? Wow. Thanks for the Fago. I appreciate it. Alex, the terminal's near my house, and I go home when I drop trailers or loads when I'm in the area, and I'll send a message that I'll call them when I'm ready. That would be good if they would do it that way. 2,300 miles from where to where? Yeah, I've had these long runs. Used to pick up in Ghirardelli and outside San Francisco. I think it's San Jose. And those would come across the country. I had one come all the way over to Albany, New York from there. I thought, man, and it was like 60 degrees, 55 or 60 degrees, just so it didn't melt or freeze. I mean, so the reefer barely ran. I thought, man, this is living right here. Do Tyson trucks have chicken lights? That's good. That'd be good. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Hello, everybody. Fleet Nav Systems, you were live on Friday. My phone is making weird noises here. I should have turned it off, which I didn't. And you did a show Friday live. Now, I was on that live. And I got nothing on the screen. I just wanted to tell you and ask you if it was me or you. Probably me. And then like 20 minutes later, you said, hey, thanks everybody for being here. That was the next comment. Was there a problem with that or was there a problem with me? So probably me. So there you go. Let's see. Did you get home every weekend back then? No, I stayed out as long as 5 months at a time. When Homer Simpson was pushing snow, his name was Mr. Plow. Oh, all right. Well, Bill, I didn't know that. Fago's the drink of juggalos. He would put Insane Clown Posse like, I don't know who the juggalos are. Come on. Who's not a juggalo? ICP all day, every day. Fago's the drink of juggalos. Is that in their commercials? Oh, my gosh. Lexington, Kentucky to Sacramento. That's a good load, too, right? That's home, JJ Hammer down San Jose. It was always nice weather, and that was a drop and hook out there. You unloaded, but we had a drop and hook out there. Another sugar fix stop, Tootsie Roll on Cicero. Oh, I never went to the Tootsie Roll plant at Cicero. Didn't get too many Chicagos, which is ironic because I live in the area. Last week was 2,100 for me, Marquette, Michigan to Portland, Oregon. That's another good load, although getting a little nervous at this time of the year doing it, really. Fleet Nav Systems, good question. I heard that from a coworker too. It's possible it was out on our end that you needed to refresh your screen. Oh, maybe. I mean, maybe. It just because I looked later and it didn't come up in your videos. So I hadn't looked again though. I should have looked today and didn't, but I just didn't. So I'm sorry, but so it may be on there and maybe I didn't see it. But I mean, it didn't. Your comment then came up later that the video, you may have done an entire video and nobody saw it but you. So it's possible. Believe me, I've done that here. So, and people said some of those are my best videos. So they said, well, that was a great improvement. I didn't see anything. So I love it. Gas is Geek Trucking. Lone Mountain Trucks is a buy here, pay here lot of Western Express repos. Wow. How great of a truck would that be? A Western Express repo truck. How does Western Express get their trucks repoed? Fleet Navs enjoyed the This Guy Trucks video with GP Transco, seeing the estate, his estate. Thanks for letting you know. We'll check on it. Okay, Fleet Nav Systems. Believe me, it's probably me, but I just thought maybe it's you. I don't know. I turned my truck in the shop for the turbo going bad, Alex, but they gave me a 2021 Volvo 860. Wow. Got a level 1 and passed it. I was upset that I had to be in a loaner instead of my truck. Yeah, tell them, hey, can you just hand me that sticker? This is not my truck. I use a different truck. Island Transportation tanker petroleum drivers are hiring. 1 year driving, $28 an hour in New York. That's not a lot in New York. You can make that here. They're paying $30 on Craigslist in Indianapolis. 27 to 30. So 28 in New York, I don't think that's a lot of money. Whoever gets that truck better be thankful. Yeah, right. It's got a sticker on it now. That's so aggravating. Just ask them to hand it to you. They're pretty good about that. Christina Jones got the same thing as me. All right, good. Now I feel better about it. Fleet Nav Systems. Yeah, just all it was the beginning screen, and it didn't go anywhere. And then eventually you said the next comment came up that said, hey, thanks everybody for being here or whatever. And I thought, dang it, I missed the whole video. Are you kidding me? So there you go. That's what it was on this end. So because I thought, dang, I'm going to watch this. This is going to be good. Who's going to be responsible for those cameras when there's a glitch and the driver runs you over? George Wilson. That's always my worry about that, isn't it? If you have only a camera outside your truck looking back and a screen, if something happens, you can't see out that side. You'd literally have to park and get towed in because you could not see anything. How nerve-wracking. Say your right side camera goes out and you're in the middle lane. How do you get over to change lanes? They're taking all the mirrors off the truck. I don't know what you do. Dropping hooks, trailer swaps on the farm to haul debris is fun. Oh, that sounds like a muddy disaster. Fleet Nav System, there must have been a glitch. That's why crickets, in spite of the fact that you guys were in the comments. Oh, okay. Okay, so the video meant to go out but didn't go out. Will there be a video Tuesday? Roller Weiner Monday. Carlos Cervantes, shout out from at PAM Transport, getting unloaded in Macon. PAM Transport stock today, which I have, $40 even. Down 25% since last Monday. What is happening at PAM Transport where your stock is going down? What is going on with that? And Gracie is certainly not impressed when your stock goes down 25% in 7 days. So what have you heard over there? Have you heard anything about it? I mean, what are they doing? We can't have the stocks go down like that. Yikes. The video is live on the site now. Okay. No video tomorrow. All right, well, I'll take mirrors over cameras any day. Look, on some cars, Cadillac is a big one on this. Some Lincolns have it. If you flip the rear view mirror up inside the car, or the SUV now, it activates a rear camera. And so rather than having all the headrests of the seats back there, you get a clear view. But you can flick it back if it stops working and you actually have a mirror. That they don't have any mirrors outside the truck. How much fuel can that possibly save? I guess they think it saves enough to chance it. But I think I'd want to get towed in. If I had no mirrors or whatever, I'd have to have somebody come out and either fix it on the side of the road or tow me in. And they're not going to be able to fix that on the side of the road. That guy in the 1983, F350 that comes out to help you, that guy's not going to be able to fix it. Kitty Ling, hello at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Wow, all right. Which companies have more drivers on YouTube, Lancer or New Prime Floral Inc. Cash King Truck? Oh, Prime, right? I think Prime. Although a lot of their people seems to have stopped posting. Are there a lot of Landstar drivers? See, I don't watch too many owner-operator videos. I think that doing Australian road trains sounds more fun than hauling superloads, Chef Matt. Yeah, I think that would be great. I think it'd be a lot of fun. There was a contest. I don't know about contest. There was going to be a truck show where you could enter in to like be a contestant or whatever, which I did. I never heard anything more about it, but I guess you were going to go there and drive road trains. I thought that'd be fun. Joe, okay, now I'm in my International Harvester finishing off my last 17 acres of corn. Wow. 17 acres of corn. That's all cattle corn now. Am I correct about that? Maybe you have to pay another multi-million-dollar driver settlement, Hair Gunner Bob. No, that's Western Express right now is back in the news for another one, which I didn't really write down, but I read about it. That $5 million that they want to get, that they want to pay out, they want to move that case now over to Tennessee. Somebody sued him in Washington for not paying minimum wage and not paying for all this extra time and all that, and they want to have that case moved. They go, that isn't fair that it's over there, and we want it moved. So that's where that's going to. They've already settled. Remember, they settled 2 cases last year. So, Cash is King Trucking. I did a quick interview with a lot lizard last night. Be sure to check out that video. Oh, if that was in Hooker, I mean, that'd be something. Wild Bill interview, is that what they call it? Right. Interview was in quotes. All right, a quick interview. Because it's by the minute, right? It's a muddy bog time. Yeah, it sounds like a total mess. They want to move. A person sued him in Washington, and Western Express wants to move the case back to their headquarters. That's the problem. The driver says, I'm in Washington. Western says, well, we're here in Tennessee, so we'll see where that goes. They constantly settle these. Western settles a lot of these suits because apparently meetings are not paid. What company doesn't pay for meetings? He says, right, safety meetings and stuff are not paid at Western Express. So I thought that's really unusual. Everywhere I've always known, everybody pays for meetings. Cash is King. This guy Trucks wants to do a live feed with you and Wild Bears. Don't know if you saw that yesterday. Who's Wild Bears? That'd be good. You and some Wild Bears. That's actually a band that they come in on Saturday sometimes at the Manhole. We get Wild Bears in there, so that might be a lot of fun. So winter, I saw this winter checklist. Don't forget to bring pet food, because 80's been closed a lot. Don't forget to have enough pet food if you have a pet. Apparently, a lot of people have a dog and some cats in the truck. Make sure you've got a couple of weeks of dog or cat food so that you don't have to worry about your friend there who can't get any chow while you're stopped on the side of the road. And always have some fuel with you. People are running out of fuel. Do not run the winter without at least a half a tank of fuel in the truck. Always keep fuel. And DEF, I fill the DEF in the winter every stop, whether it needs it or not, which it doesn't. But I fill that tank up every stop because there's so many times in the winter I go up to the pump and it's either frozen or it doesn't work or whatever. So whenever it works, I fill it. I keep the thing full in the truck of DEF. When you run out of that, the truck doesn't run. So be sure every time you stop, it just takes another minute or two. Fill up the DEF. That's my suggestion. This mirrorless stuff reminds me of Robin Williams' full body condom show. Oh, I didn't see that. If I didn't have any mayors, my truck, I quit and find another job. Hopefully mirrors. Was the interview done via dictation? So this is an actual video? That's going to be something. Truck Cash is King Trucking. I wish I could live my life like Prime and Western Express. Just go around hosing everybody and then say I didn't do anything wrong. Here's a bunch of money and go away. Exactly. That's all they do. Western Express just writes checks every year. They must have a vice president in charge of writing settlement checks. And that's all he does is write these checks to places. Alex only got paid $350 when I was with Western for training for 2 weeks. $175 a week. See, that would be less than minimum. Minimum's $290. For minimum wage at 40 hours currently. That's federal. So this is less than that. That's exactly the problem. And a lot of these companies are losing these minimum wage suits. Jeff Race, good afternoon. Have you ever done a live feed with Smart Trucking? I have not done one with them, although I will say here, they didn't say that I couldn't say it right. We did a recorded interview. I did a recorded interview that'll be on their channel. Coming up. I don't have a date or anything for it, so that was a lot of fun. Talked to David Person. I can't believe it. Right, so that will be out soon. Last level 1 I got, they sent that truck to California the next day. That stinks. Right, that's the time you want that it's brand new too, so they know it just got put on there. You wax that sticker and everything, so it always looks pristine. Pass me a wrench. I need to fix a loose bench. Exactly. Where did I go off to? My corn goes on a barge and sent down the river. I think it gets sold to China. Oh, so you have China corn on there. And what do they send back for that? The China flu. I love it. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a lot of fun. Talking to them in person, I mean, just seeing them online is really something. But then just to get to talk to them, it's really impressive, right? They're just so nice of people, so just like they are on their videos. So, and I'm not just saying that because they're super nice, but they are. So Tyson with the cameras, okay, yellow 404, and they're down, but USX went back up 686. Here, Roadrunner $1.89. PAM $40 down 25%. Is there something going on there that I don't know about? They weren't in the news for any accidents or anything, so I didn't hear anything more about it. But they're down 25% in a week. That's a big deal. Is that because, is this all for the election that people think we're going to have another shutdown? And I think before Thanksgiving, I really think that the country will shut down again, just like it did before, where everything gets closed. I see that in some cities. I think it'll go into some kind of nationwide where the states will just shut the whole place down again for 6-8 weeks again, just like before. That's a real problem. Jeff, you and Dave are a wealth of information. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Dave is great. They run a great deal over there, and he's been driving for tons of years, so he knows everything that there is about trucking. Believe me. So Pam down. Okay, half a tank. Oh, salt. So I know some people are the kitty litter versus salt. Sand, kitty litter versus salt. I'm on the salt side. Oh, USX is 686, and it's up this week a little bit. USX stock is up slightly this week. Those are the four that I have here. I think salt's better, like the little pellet ones that go to 20 below zero. Kitty litter doesn't melt ice. So it gives you some traction, I guess, depending on what kind you get. I've always thought a bag of salt does a lot better than litter. It's still rough on the outside. You can also use it in your dishes that you cook in your truck. But also you can, if you use sodium chloride, and also you can use it to melt. So throwing salt down in the morning in front of your truck where it's sitting, especially if it snowed overnight, around your tires, and then when you walk inside, and to do whatever, when you come back out, you're all melted out. Kitty litter doesn't do that. It might give you traction on the ice. Here we're going to melt the ice out of the way. I'm salt over kitty litter for that stuff. Dominican truck driver did 240 hours at Western, a little over 3 weeks, and my highest pay was $335. They're only paying you for logging to drive. Your trainer had 6 months experience and had a reckless. Sweet. Only one. Oh, so a reckless and 6 months. There's your trainer, because that's the only person that'll stay. And then now he has to stay. And you get paid $335 for 80 hours, 3 weeks. Wow, 80 hours at minimum, even without overtime, is over $560. So you're under minimum wage also. See, that's what I'm saying about this is the problem at these places. It's starting out. What is the incentive to stay there? If you could make $290, think about this. That $335 they paid you, you'd have made $290 just working a minimum wage job in your hometown for 40 hours and being home every day. You barely made more money than that, and that's why people don't stay. That's why people don't stay in the industry. This kind of $300 a week is ridiculous. Chef Matt, a 10th drag reduced, 10th increase. Too insignificant of a drag reduction. I'm certainly more apt to have mirrors. Yeah, it can't hardly be anything over time, and I don't know what they cost to install. If they're getting a deal on them or whatever, they didn't say that, just how much they've invested. Oh, they're going to invest overall, but not per truck. What is your opinion, John P., of all the self-driving talk? I don't believe they will allow trucks to not have a human behind the wheel. New subscribers, so don't know if you discussed it. Yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm here every Monday at 12:30 p.m. And I'm kind of for it. Listen to that guy from Too Simple. He said, look, he's going to have self-driving because trucking takes the humanity out of people. And at some jobs, it does. To make $335 and be gone from your family, there's no humanity in that. It didn't help. It doesn't help you. Will they have trucks without a human? Yeah, some states probably will pretty soon. Too Simple's building a big terminal in Fort Worth, and they're going to run south. A lot of this self-driving, though, is going to be road only. You're going to go, it's going to be one spot to another, terminal to terminal. They're not going to back in yet. So I think at that point, you'll have a local driver on each end. Bring the truck to the staging area and then pick up a trailer that's there, in the staging and take and deliver it. The first self-driving will be road, over the road, and that's a ways away yet. Christina, kitty litter is cheaper, though. I think you're correct that salt is better. Well, kitty litter is $8 for 30 pounds or whatever. It's not exactly, I buy tons of it here. So, but yeah, I think the salt bags work out good because you can melt your way out of a situation. The litter's not going to melt you out of anything. So I love the salt. Always salt. Cassius King Trucking, no disrespect to Smart Trucking, but does he have a video where he interviews a lot lizard? That's true. Does he do 9 live shows at a minimum a week? That's true. I don't know. He may have a lot lizard interview. We'll see. So, I don't know. That, I got to see that. I'm trying to get... I didn't know there were any anymore, really. I'm trying to get JJ the Trucker to come on here to explain Prime's lease program. He claims there's no problem. Oh, yeah, I'd love to hear about it. Get him on here. I mean, if there's no problem with it, I'm sure we'd all love to hear all about it. On how he makes good money, more than a solo driver anywhere else. GP Transco is going to run. I have a safety manager candidate to interview. Thanks for the live show. All right, thank you for being here, GP Transco. Where did this thing go off to? Right there it is. You can join the Teal team. Join the Teal team and get on the Teal revolution at GP Transco. All right, and the green trucks, not going to happen. And colors, not guaranteed. So there, don't tell them you're getting a Teal truck from me. I appreciate you being here. Don't forget to go vote if you haven't voted over there, GP Transco. Make sure everybody votes. If you haven't voted, go vote. Let's see, where did I go off to here? There I am. I'm also a believer of salt. How else are you going to dirty up the rim of your truck with kitty litter? Exactly. I think because salt melts. So that's why I'm in. And you got to get that salt that's like 20 below zero. So it really, really melts fast. Throw it out there in the morning. Then go into the truck stop and get your chai latte or whatever. Joe, if Trump wins, we'll have 4 more years of COVID. If Biden wins, they'll end it November 4th. 4 more years. 4 more years of COVID. Couldn't sleep, had to drive overnight from day one. Thought I was going to die, but 3 more months, I hope. Dominican truck driver. That's the other problem. You're just being used there. And it's unfortunate that they allow it, much less the government. But of course, the trainer has you. Now, remember, at most companies, and probably there, the trainer gets paid for all miles the truck rolls. Even if it's 30 cents or whatever. If the truck rolls 1,000 miles a day, he's making way better money than he was. And so he just has you drive at night. Pretty awesome. They're just using you. And I would tell them that after I found a new job and left. Taking the humidity out of trucking, define humanity. Right. Well, I mean, if you're in the truck delivering whatever and gone from your house and making $300 a week, there's no humanity in that. It has taken away your life for nothing. Literally for nothing. The reason I went with Western is because I got a reckless. That's exactly right. I learned that the law the hard way. Did jail time to avoid my license being suspended. Okay. And look, Western serves a purpose in that they will put people on the road that most places won't put on. Western Express. That's true. And that's unfortunately where I send people that have a bad record, that can't get it cleared up. But they still shouldn't use you like they do to people. They're just using people that they know have no other choice. It's immoral at least. Found out the hard way of setting wet brakes and freezing temperatures, Jeff. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's the downside of doing a lot of dropping hooks. But if you're in the truck, never set your trailer brakes. Just get in the habit. Unless you're in the dock, the trailer brakes are not set. That's how I do it. And that's how you should do it. Also, in the snow or ice, drag them into the truck stop. I drag the trailer handle down so that the brakes heat up, so that they're really hot by the time I park, and that will keep them clear for the next morning so you can get going. Drag those trailer brakes in there. It works. Had to go through hoops to get hired with this company, Alex. Okay, yeah, that's right, because of the record, exactly. Self-driving trucks will run on icy and snowy roads. Hunsley, no. They will not yet. That's why it's going to be Texas and El Paso and stuff. And when the weather's bad, they don't work yet. Not yet. When they can run the whole country, that's decades. That's a long way away. But through the summery south and stuff like that, yeah, they have an Arizona, Phoenix to Tucson mail run that they're doing right now, too. It's always nice over there. Chef Matt, the way to do it in trucking is to rise above pocket change and get to double minimum wage. Once you hit the double minimum wage, then you got it made. After a year, certainly, of on the road, you can easily increase your pay wherever you are. Donkey Bite doesn't vote. You're just going to build a motor around your house. All right, that's one way. Kenneth, I'm in the mood. March 16, 2021. 34 reset. We got time to plan, make that happen. All right, that'd be great. By the way, Matt's is still on. Matt's for next year is still on, and I hope to see everybody there. We'll see what happens. Cash is King Trucking. It's not impossible to make money in a lease purchase, but if you save up like $5,000 and buy your own truck with financing, you can make twice the money at a decent carrier. Yeah, look, it's possible to make money in a lease purchase. I don't want to say like, oh, you're going to not make money. You can. You can make money in a lease purchase, but because lease purchases are usually way more expensive, you'd make a lot more money if you bought the same truck outside of the company and had a much lower payment. Instead of, $1,300 a week, what if you paid $2,000 a month for the truck, $500 a week? All that is just extra profit for you. That's the thing of it. That's why in a lease purchase at a company, you don't make as much. Also, when you're stuck with that company, you're buying the truck from the place that employs you, basically. That's not a good plan. Get the truck yourself, because if you don't like that company, you can go, I'm leaving, and take your truck that you're buying yourself somewhere else. Chef Matt, where did this guy trucks go? Oh, probably into the study or into his library at his home there and off. I don't know. The thing they don't get you your CDL, say the year contract is for training, but everything I know I learned myself. He didn't even show me how to park. Dominican truck driver. I know. Look, it's a whole big scam. I agree. I totally agree. Once you leave there, you should post these things to tell other people. I totally agree. And I'm saying that as long as you're there, right, that they could find out who you are and fire you or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. But when you're not there, let everybody know about this. I totally agree. Drummer to drummer to driver. Jumped in while on a quick break. Got your teal truck. Things are going great here at GP Transco. That's great. So you got a teal one, and your initial impressions are good. That is awesome. I rarely have people write to me about the company. They don't like it. A couple things, but absolutely doing good there. John Santo, if self-drive rigs get busted for illegal hauls, who goes to jail? That's the problem. They don't know. Insurance, and what if somebody hits it and all that stuff. Drummer to driver, what do you think about dispatch? How's it going there in dispatch? Let's ask about that. So I always have a question. Are you dispatched in a way that you think is good? And what do you say? If you have the financial discipline to lease a truck, you can save your money as a company driver and just buy or directly finance your truck. The direct finance is better just because, look, if for no other reason, it costs less. Almost every time it's less money. Plus, you own the truck. So if you don't like the place, you can go wherever you want. But just owning the truck and it's half the payment, that's just extra profit for you. Imagine going from $1,300 a week to $800 or $500 a week on your payment. That's $800 in your pocket. Jeff, dragging the brakes a little over 2 decades. I learned something. Well, thank you very much. Drag those trailer brakes when you're pulling in, right? Drag them for a while so they get super hot. And then any water that's on them or drips on them will literally boil off of them because they're hot and not freeze. And also, like you said, don't ever set them. An autonomous truck gets more time off than I do. I know, Wild Bill, but look at all those hours. That's how you drive America's sports, supercar. And the rest of us can't do that. George Wilson, you can never have too many straps to secure your trailer doors. You cannot depend on those hooks. I agree. You should have tons. Everybody should carry a ton of bungees with them. You never know if you're going to get a trailer where it doesn't hold. If you're even unsure a little bit, bungee that door. And some docks are tight or whatever. Bungee that door tight to the side of the trailer so it's not flapping around. Absolutely. Cash is King Trucking. The worst part of winter as a truck driver is having to be in the parking lot when it's 10 below zero. It's a logistical problem. Yeah, because they won't let you in anymore. Normally that would be just something gross, but places aren't letting you in the building. Can you lease purchase a wife? That's what we do. Right? That is what we do here. Your spouse is a lease purchase. Cash is King Trucking. Keep in mind, lease purchase don't care what the freight rate is because they make so much money on selling the trucks, right? They can get lower price freight, and if you're on percentage, what do they care? As long as they make the truck payment, they're all set. And you have little choice if you leave but to leave the truck with them. And if the place closes like Falcon, like these places close, like Aero, you don't have a truck. Many Aero drivers, when the place closed, had their lease purchase trucks repossessed by the leasing company. And they found out the hard way that they didn't own the truck, that the leasing company owned the truck, and any money they'd put in, they were just done with. Don't let that happen to you. Don't be the next statistic. This is your brain, and this is your truck on drugs. At Dart Transit, I'm paying $1,900 a month for a 2017. A 2020 will run $2,200 a month. That's much better. There are people, that $1,900 a month, there are people at Prime paying $1,300 a week. A week for a truck. And now you can see perfectly how much difference that would make in your pocket. Well, Bill just does not pee in the winter. That's convenient. I use a pee bottle to melt the trailer brakes. Oh, so it's like a double use. Require winter solutions. Right, winter problems require winter solutions. 550 cord works too, Amy. Okay, right. Bungees just have these hooks. I like those flat bungees, those black ones we can get everywhere. I like it. Drummer to driver, little misunderstanding at first, so sort of got off on the wrong foot. I had a couple conversations in the first week, and everything's been great ever since. Good. They're rolling you, and it's going good. That's how it should go, right? Do you feel like you're treated like a professional? That's what I always say about the place. Oh, Jeff is there. GP Trans goes well. Dispatch seems to have you planned out 1 or 2 loads prior to delivery. Excellent trip planning. That's too bad that it has to be like an unusual thing, right? You'd think all companies would want you to have your next load set up so that you're not sitting around and their truck isn't sitting around not making them any money. If you could just do that, holy mackerel. Manny does greatest lease purchase. That's because you have a good payment. I make my own schedule and refuse any loads I don't like without any consequence. Well, you're an owner-operator and independent. You should be able to refuse any load, right? Absolutely. And at $1,900, that's more like a regular truck payment rather than these $1,300 a week payments, which is crazy. JJ says that, JJ the trucker, says his lease says he could pull the truck from Prime if he wanted to. He says they have many different programs you can apply for. I'd like to hear from any driver that has ever taken their truck from Prime and put it on somewhere else in the middle of a lease. I mean, what is the cost of that? It's got to have some kind of cost to it. Randy Halo's in Florence. All right. Sanjar, we're going to leave that last name. Good morning. It's good to see you. Chef Matt, I saw a video where a guy had 312 ripped off him on a mobile parking lot set up on a 5-year lease purchase. He was paying over $4,000 a month. Well, hopefully he had insurance for that. And $4,000 a month, $1,000 a week here again. Nothing matters, George Costanza, because the election tomorrow is going to end the world, according to what the glowing box is telling me. Yeah, people just are dying randomly in the streets from the COVIDs. It's going to be an interesting Tuesday, I will tell you that. Anybody in a major city, I'd be a little concerned tomorrow. Someone told me today that the president for decades has already decided our votes don't matter. That's probably partially true, at least. Certainly the people that are running are decided for you. I mean, look, let's be honest. 2 guys that are closing in are 80 years old. I don't know if that's who we'd all choose as the person to run, really. Somebody said, the debate looked like 2 old men yelling at each other over a fence. So I don't know what to say. I didn't see it. Can you take the truck and go to a different carrier if you choose to? Cassius King Trucking. Yeah, how would you take the truck out of Prime? It would be interesting to get a Prime driver around here and say that. How much do you have to pay them? What is the surrender fee or whatever to go somewhere else, if there is one? Talking by Teal, you want is a place you live waiting for a certain colored GP. A lot of people get a teal truck to get started there, but there's no guarantee on color. They have other colors, but a lot of people do seem to be getting a teal one. I tried that with one of the companies I was with. They had to approve it. Of course, they didn't approve it. Oh, they go, sorry. We'd love to help you, but there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, we'd really love to do something for you. But, yeah, they go, sorry. Let's see. Okay, so GP Transco, this is the other one. 9 showers, right? This Loves. 97 spaces is not exactly the biggest place in the world, even if it has a dog park in it. So keep that in mind from that Loves. We're going to assume that Loves, though, is, the biggest Loves in the country. The beer bug is just a virus. The beer bug? Is it a beer bug now, Amy? That's good. It's the fear hysteria that I'm scared of. Yeah, look, they don't want you to go see your family. We didn't have any trick-or-treaters this year. What is going on? You can't go see your family at Thanksgiving or Christmas. Awesome. Because I guess assume that you'd all talk to each other and then I'll figure out how ridiculous it is. Drummer to driver on my way to Eagan, Minnesota, deliver this evening or first thing in the morning. Hopefully I can get out of there quick. Yeah, before it snows again. Christina, I believe it was Gainey Transport. Oh, I remember Gainey. Didn't they get bought by somebody? I think somebody bought Gainey out. I remember that. Dominican truck driver, prime driver told me 6 weeks worth of payments and $7,500 is in your maintenance account. Well, they shouldn't get to decide what's in your maintenance account. As an independent owner operator, you get to decide what's in your maintenance account. I think that's my opinion. Or are you saying that's how much it is to switch your truck? $7,500. What if I would take everything out of my maintenance account first then. Coronavirus beer bug. Yeah, I never heard it called that. I wonder why I did get that. Christina doesn't celebrate Halloween. Okay, well, I mean, that's fair enough, but you don't have to, certainly. I'm just saying that, because of everything that's going on, we didn't get anybody to come by trick-or-treat, so. Has anybody told you the lizard people want to wait? What are they waiting for? An approved carrier that meets their... Well, no, wait a minute. Now we have a problem. Dominican truck driver. See... As an independent, this is where Prime has got a problem with all these. That's why they get sued all the time and lose this stuff, or they don't lose, as they would say. They just settle these cases. They don't get to decide what carrier you go to. Okay, it's not up to them. If they're going to call you independent. You get to decide what carrier. A carrier with insurance and a number, a DOT number, is a legit carrier in the United States. And you get to lease your truck on there. As soon as they start controlling that, you're an employee again. So they don't get to do that, right? And approved meets their qualification. What is their qualifications? They would have to enumerate that. We'll go back to constitutional wording since it's so close to elections. They can't just say their qualifications because their qualifications could change as the day goes on. They're not allowed to do that. So no way. No way. Where is this? Sometimes I get prime lease drivers on here too. Today they're curiously quiet. So Western does it the same way, but they don't just get to say, well, it meets our qualifications. You would have to at least list what their qualifications are so you know in advance. And otherwise they could just make it out. They could just make it up. Oh, Heartland bought Gainey. They buy out Gainey? All right. Heartland bought Gainey then, Robin. Thank you. Colonial out of Tennessee is the same way. Colonial Freight System, CFS. Some drivers lease paying $1,100 a week. That's so much money. These companies only offer these leases because it helps them. Oh, of course it helps them. Can you imagine paying $1,100 a week for your truck? I mean, $4,400+ a month before you even make any money. I mean, holy mackerel. Now even if you made $10,000, you're down to $6,000. That's $1,500 a week. Okay, for you, minus all this other fuel and stuff, that's company driver money again. So, I mean, you really got to roll in the money at that kind of lease payment to make any more than you would just driving one of their company trucks. How am I supposed to spread juvenile diabetes without trick-or-treaters? Well, you could always give out toothbrushes. I remember getting that. I remember getting a roll of 10 pennies as a kid in aluminum foil. There'd always be the apple, which my mom would never let me eat. Oh, they could put razor blades in it, even though nobody ever really does that. So there was always that. And some people would give out popcorn balls as a kid, which I'm sure people don't do anymore. But I remember always getting one or two popcorn balls that would be caramel-coated popcorn balls or whatever. But they probably don't do that. They're like homemade popcorn balls. People just aren't doing that anymore. Now I guess people are shooting candy out of air things that shoot them 400 feet so nobody gets the Ronas. Day Cab Gear Jammer. Quality Leasing used to do that too. Lease a truck onto their approved list. They don't get to do that. You can't be independent and them decide stuff they decide stuff for employees. It was too cold in Minneapolis to trick-or-treat. We took the kids to Walgreens and let them get a bag of candy each and just run out. Had trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treat. You threw toilet paper at them. I never thought about it, but I guess it would be cold up there. I will send you a contractor email. All right, I'd love to see that. Right. Have you ever considered doing more things to consider about more companies? I'd like to hear your take on Swift. Yeah, I did a thing on Swift for new people, and they have a no contract deal at Swift. And Werner, people that write to me, they don't have too much problem at Werner that start there. They have a good veterans program, so it's one of the better places to get started. These places I wouldn't recommend for long-termers, really, unless you're on some kind of dedicated account. Get there and get on a dedicated account, and then, yeah. I think to move your Schneider Finance truck, the new carrier has to have at least 50 power units on their safer web, cash or skiing trucking. Why? I mean, what do they care? So you're leasing on to a friend who's got a DOT number. I mean, I don't think, see, this is the thing. Not being a lawyer, of course, lawyers are going to write, Mark, you're not a lawyer. I know. But to be independent, you have to be independent. If I'm making the payment, it isn't just, and I'm going to a legitimate carrier who has a number, insurance, and all that, that's all they should get to say about it. George Costanza remembers getting an apple. Yeah, there'd always be a few apples in the bag. You'd always hear him hit the bag or the little pumpkin thing you'd carry around like, ugh, here's apple lady. I guess I'll go next door to the dentist and get a toothbrush. And at Prime, you pay for the reefer fuel along with your own fuel. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought Prime picked that up. Why wouldn't they pay the reefer fuel on their load? So I know it's that way at Colonial also. CFS, you also pay the reefer fuel. And you pay scales, which I guess is not that unusual, but you also pay washouts for their trailer. So pretty nice. Caramel concrete, you mean, Amy? Yeah, exactly. You'd bite into that and you needed that toothbrush. And you'd go see that dentist. Which house gave me that toothbrush? If someone gives me a toothbrush for Halloween, I'd file it down and make a shiv. Well, you didn't know till you got home. That's the problem. They got it in their hand and they like put it in your pumpkin or whatever. And then that's how they get away with it. It isn't right. I seem to remember getting a Bible tract once in a while also. I don't remember if I got coupons. I don't remember about that. But I would get a Bible tract, not every year. Charlie Brown gets a bag of rocks every year since the 1960s. Well, Bill, that's even worse. Even if you have the money, they come up with something. Yeah, see, the problem is in a lease, if they're going to say it has to be an approved thing, they're going to have to list on a contract what the approval process is. It can't be something they just make up on the spot because that's too random. If you two have a deal, you're a business deal because you're independent, they need to write down the company has to be this and this, but they would have to have a reason. What is the 50 power units? What does that prove? There are not that many companies with that. You'd be surprised. Most companies, 95 or something percent of companies are less than 10 units. In the United States, we hear about these large companies because there's so many. Most places are small, few trucks. And most of them seem to all be pulling Amazon trailers at the moment, if you see them out there. Usually going very fast with pieces of their truck flying off. George Costanza, did we do a cat break? Of course. If you're going to wear it, make it a parrot. Well, naturally, always make it a parrot because you don't want to miss out on that. And I think that went down here. I don't know where that went. See, everything keeps moving around. People are like, Mark, we don't know what you're talking about. What is this right here? Let's see. All right. There it is. All right. There is Gracie while I look over at this thing. And I can't seem to find that at the moment. I have too many of these. Mark, no one knows what you're saying. Oh, it's right there. Duh. Good job. There it is. If you wear it, make it a parrot, right? Please get a blue parrot. There'll probably be some on sale here coming up for Black Friday, so we'll have to watch that for everybody. So it's a good time to get one if you don't have one. Do not get fired for not having a headset on or a ticket. You pay for it. It's stupid moving their freight, Dominican truck driver. Yeah, why are you paying the reefer fuel? Why are you paying reefer washouts? I think all that trailer stuff should be on them. That's all that comes out of your money. George Costanza, I got a mini New Testament Bible. Wow, the whole thing. This is Nebraska. Everyone goes to church. Know your audience. Look, we're already down there already. Come on. What is going on? I would get a tract, though. Kind of like the things you see at the urinal, which I don't know why. Is this just some kind of weird thing? At the urinal, people are like, well, we got like a captive audience here, so... ladies, this is what happens in the men's room at the urinal. There are Bible tracts posted around it, so know where you're going. So, and you get them flu shots while they get trick or treat. That's coming too. Donkey Bite. As a kid, if I go to Apple or Popcorn Ball, I wish cancer in the house. Nice. Hey, I hope you all get cancer. Yeah, you couldn't eat the apple. For some reason, my mom would let me eat the popcorn ball. Apparently, you can't stick a razor in that. She's probably like, oh, well, they made that themselves. They're not, how bad could they be? But an apple, they're like, oh, serial killer, Amy, oh my gods, I remember some of those horrendous tracks. One of the reasons I'm practicing heathen today. Yeah, I don't know that giving a kid a Bible track helps. I don't know. Maybe. You once got a box of mini cereal Fruit Loops. And that's not bad, I will tell you. That's probably better than one of those popcorn balls. I would take one of those little mini Fruit Loops things. Fruit Loops pretty good. First Amendment t-shirt. Oh, that'd be great. I just think the truck is in their name and they want you to pay for it and you have no choice what load you get. Of course, they want you to stay there because then you're trapped there. That's why it's always better. Even at the same payment, I would tell you to get a truck outside the carrier if you could. Because then you control the truck. If the carrier goes down, if they have some kind of problem, or you just don't like it, maybe you have to move and there's no carrier there, they can't get you home there. You can control the truck. You don't have to ask them what you're doing with it. You just move it. So you at least have control of it. Now this Dart, $1,900 a month, that's not bad for a truck. I mean, I got to admit, that's pretty good compared to ones that I see that are regularly over $1,000. That's all extra money in your pocket. So I would say that's pretty good at Dart. As long as you're making money, like right now for Dart, okay, I think they run a lot of vans. So van rate's $246 right now. So what are you getting at Dart? Let's put it that way. How much you get a mile at Dart? Where's my Dart driver? Jones Truck Lines out of Springdale had orange and black trucks. Yes. Harvey Jones had a black mule for a sorrel colored mule. A sorrel colored mule. I don't know what that is, right? Folded in 91. I do remember Jones, right? Home overthrow. Your dad gives King James Version Bibles. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. We always give out Gideon Bibles, so steal them from the hotels. Black Friday election riots. This is going to be fun. Thanksgiving. Oh, those are going to start tomorrow. Don't worry about that. I was hoping my Blue Parrot would die before my Best Buy year contract expired. Now I'm going to have to actually pay for my next one. You have to throw it in a bowl of water or something to get it to die. Although I guess the new ones are waterproof, right? Starting at the 450s, they're water resistant. Don't forget the North Carolina camel jockey. Seen the guy signed every stall in the lower 48. Oh, I know. This guy really, this guy had a lot of internal problems. I don't know if any ladies get this problem in the stalls. There's always poetry and stuff. But this guy, the North Carolina NT camel jockey, was everywhere. Every stall. I mean, he must have eaten every roller wiener from here to Seattle, which would then have a fist fight with him, which is one of the greatest lines I've ever heard. But this guy would be on the stall of every place. I don't understand it. It's like he never delivered any freight, and we just assume it's a man since it's in the men's room there. And but he just never delivered any freight, I guess, because he was always in the bathroom signing. Who goes in the bathroom with a pen? Do people bring writing instruments in there and stuff? Because you see different colors too. I mean, do people bring art sets in there? What are we doing? I guess I can understand having a pen in your pocket, but considering how few drivers have a pen when they go to sign paperwork, why do they always have a pen in the bathroom? Everybody that you stand in line, the person, I don't have a pen. Where's your pen? I guess I left it in the bathroom. That kind of thing. They always have a knife. They could always etch their name and stuff. George Costanza is broken down in Chesapeake, BA. Pet deposit at the hotel is $40. Breakdown's $50. This puppy better be worth it. I will say this. In Chesapeake, they should pay your hotel. Okay. You should get your $50 and a motel. And the puppy is worth it for sure. Could be in Portland for the election. I pay a monthly pet cat rent fee. Always have here. So home overthrown. Are you going to be in Portland for the election? Oh, that should be a lot of fun out there. There'll only be peaceful protests, remember. Look, as soon as the election results are announced, that's what's going to be the problem. Of a certain state that says we're for this candidate or that candidate, that is going to be where the problem is. The huge problem. Okay, $1.05 loaded plus fuel. Oh, that's so low. Which is 16 this week. All right, $1 empty at Dart. I averaged 3,800 a week on a dedicated account. 99% drop and hook. I love that part of it, right? 4,300 miles in 7 days. That's pretty good. That's a lot of miles, but that is really kind of a low amount. I'm considering vans right now are 246 You're at like 40%. You're 35-40%, barely more than a company. So I guess the downside at that place, you get a great payment, but then they're only giving you $1.05 to run the freight. Kind of like Colonial, really. Their rate is not super high either, I think. Oh, I guess that's vans though only. Their reefers do better. But vans are $2.46 this week. You should be at 80, say at least 70% of that. So that'd be what, $1.60, $1.70 you should be getting this week, plus fuel at least. And really more than that. So Dart is making out on that. That's just not enough at the moment. Best freebies I've ever gotten driving the truck was a Samsung flat screen worth $4.50. Receiver didn't want it because it had damage. Oh, and they give you the TV? Wow, I only get some cookies? Cassius King uses oil paints you can run in the bathroom stall. Do you have a pallet with you and everything? Is taking those out? Some of them, I mean, nobody has a pen for their paperwork. Where's your pen? Okay, Amy, there are females who write poetry in the stalls also. All right, but it's in nicer handwriting. That's the thing of it. But yeah, there's a lot of that in the men's, and there's also the tracks. So do you get tracks in there too? Okay, George, they're paying for the hotel and throwing you $50, of which 40 of it you're going towards the pet. What if those drivers had to write and just put their mark? Is that allowed? The drivers couldn't write? Apparently it is, because they just etch it in there. Some of them just etch it. They all have a knife, but none of them have a pen. Air Gunner Bob, thank you very much. Gotta bail. Glad I could listen. Well, Park, thanks for another great show. Stay safe. Thank you for being here, and thank you for that. I appreciate it. NC's a legend and had a sponsorship from Sharpie. Donkey Bite. Everybody's got like 40 colors of pens in the bathroom, and nobody's got a pen at the receiving window. That guy was a graffiti legend. Someone ought to write a trucking song about that dude. Yeah, too bad Johnny Cash isn't here. That could be something we could do. Why are we putting up with knowing people are waiting to riot? We should be letting them know we won't stand for it. Oh, Joe, who's with you more than me? The government, every city should have said, listen, this is how we do things in the United States. Your candidate might not win, no matter who your candidate is. And that doesn't mean you get to go out and riot about it. So if you're even thinking about that, put the kibosh on that right now, because I'll arrest everybody in this town. That's what I'd say. And I'd show pictures of lined up buses. I would not tolerate it for 2 seconds. But then the people that are out there doing that are all going to be like, oh, well, that's so mean to see you. Now people are all in their safe space and stuff. So that's why they don't do it. Oh, that's horrible to say to people. You're disenfranchising them. Right. That's why it doesn't happen. But that should be said. Western doesn't give you all the fuel surcharge. 95 cents. Well, wait a minute. 95 cents over 400 than $1.15, but you don't get the fuel surcharge? No way. No way. You should get all the fuel surcharge, 100% of the fuel surcharge. You're the one buying the fuel. Back in the day, we only got to read the naughty stuff written on the rest area stalls. Now they're doing Bible verses. How things really do come full circle. Right. They're classing the place up a little bit. Cassius King Trucking. Dart is making a killing paying people $1.05. I mean, can you imagine you, especially, getting $1.05? How much difference would your week have been if you'd only got $1.05 a loaded mile? I mean, that's 40% or so, looking at it, of the 246. I mean, that's not a great percentage. Now, the upside, I guess, is when freight is down to $1, you're still making your $1.05. So you get a flat rate on it. But right now, wow. At least the payment is low. But $1.05 on 3,000 miles, $3,050, right? $15 plus fuel, you're at $3,500. So minus $500, yeah. I mean, it's okay. You make money. You will make money, and as long as they treat you good, you got a drop and hook. That's worth. I will say that's worth something right there. I remember watching the news the day after Halloween back in the 70s, and there was always a story about an apple with a razor blade. Haven't heard a razor blade story in decades. I know, that's why my mom's like, oh, there's apples in all. Every apple has razor blades in it. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Huh. Hey, Alexandra, take care. It's good to see you here today. Amy, actually, the penmanship is terrible, as does the grammar and spelling. I'm surprised about that. Usually that's how you can tell a woman has written something. It's because of their excellent handwriting. So maybe only the ones writing in the bathroom are the ones that don't write well. The best freebie Jeff Rice got was from Cisco. Case of ground chuck, 2 cases of ribeyes. Wow, how would you bring that back? You'd have to leave the reefer running. Heavy loads over 40,000 waste all money and fuel. Well, it depends what it pays, right? You could take those at the right if they were paying the right, but for what they're paying there, I agree. They're going to give those loads to all the owner operators. Let's be real. Defunding the police is the best thing for gun owners. The rioters aren't being arrested, but they call the cops and you get arrested for defending yourself. Okay. Threaten them with taking them to church. Nice. Hey, we'll take all these. You know what they should do is threaten the rioters and make them all go get a job. Every one of you will be required to apply for and accept a job. And they'll be like, no, not a job. As soon as you hold up the want ads to them, they'll disappear into a puff of smoke. Ah, the want ads. Disenfranchisement is better than disembowelment. Oh, that would be a great line. Dart where the driver's the dartboard. That's just not enough. $1.05 right now is just not enough for an owner operator. It just isn't. Meaning you could make, if you took that truck at that payment and made 80% of $246, you'd be making close to $2 a mile. I think this guy trucks got jealous and ran off. Typical of the overzealous people. Chef Matt, I doubt he's jealous of me. So, Jubitz is probably a good place to watch the most peaceful fires. Oh, that would be a good spot, right? And it's in a nice area. Christine, I beat my child like a redheaded stepchild. These riots are so senseless. I know. What parents are tolerating this? They're probably out with him. But it's crazy. Go to work, and your candidate might not win. Not everybody's candidate wins every time, and then just move on. And really, the president isn't the one that controls most of your life. Your local officials, which people don't even know or vote for, that's where your local laws are made that really can change how your life works. Go vote for all those people down the ballot. Go vote for all of them, too. Cassius King Trucking average $2.80 a mile for all miles. Oh, I guess I love the dark ads that say drive like a boss. $2.80 a mile. So going to $1.05 would have cost you thousands of dollars over the week. That's really something. $2.80, you're doing better. Even a refrigerated $2.60 it's shown as refrigerated. So not bad. You're ahead of the average rate. And you're only getting a part of it. So getting $1.05 pulling 44,000 pounds of ice cream over the Rocky Mountains sounds like a great way to make a living. Exactly. Oh my gosh. You'd have to be in Georgia overdrive to get yourself back past 6 miles to the gallon. George Wilson will be interesting to get Sergei Drachev on the show. Very professional owner-operator. All right. Sergei. I don't know who that is. Does he have a channel too? If Biden-Harris don't win, California is going to be a mess. Oh my gosh. JJ Hammer down. If Biden doesn't win, I cannot imagine what the next few weeks are going to look like. I don't think we'll actually have a winner tomorrow. With all the votes that have been cast early, I think it's going to be later this week. Each state's going to start popping up. And it's going to be super nerve-wracking. Does anyone else remember seeing the word Jesus spray painted in dark blue under millions of overpasses? It was everywhere. Haven't seen that for years. No. Hope they count the votes on time. I don't trust mail-in. Depends on the state. As you know, some states are letting it go as long as 10 days. So who knows? I guess I'm out of touch. I just gave all the trick-or-treating kids handfuls of opioids. Why are you giving that stuff away? You need that for all the time that you're working there. I'm home every week for 34-hour reset, so for you it's great. 3,800 to 4,300 miles a week is a lot of miles, by the way. With the rest of these trucking companies, it's not too bad. They don't treat us like a company driver. Good, which is good. That they actually treat the people that own the truck as someone who owns the truck. And so if you say, I'm not doing that load, that should be the end of it. Not, oh, you have to do it or whatever. Kenneth Snyder, well, what do you think about next year? Is it going to be better than this year? Worse? Truck drivers in general? Yeah, I mean, every year gets better. There's more of this e-commerce. Nothing's going away till 2022, really. They just said today that even vaccines for most people won't be ready until third quarter of next year. So if you even go get it, which you can have my first one while I watch everybody and see what happens to them. But yeah, it's going to be great, as always. There's still 350 million people in the United States that need stuff. I had a beggar approach me at the fuel pump a few weeks ago begging for money. All right. I told him to give him $2 to wash my windshield. I don't give money away. He did a great job. That's great. You know, that he did it, you should have given him $10. I'll tell you that. Because anybody that's willing to work like that should get the money. So I totally agree. Didn't just want the money. He's willing to work for it. That's somebody that's going to get themselves out of wherever they are. Loads don't weigh more than 20,000. Good. That's good. But some of these places like Western that have a lot of heavy loads might be more likely to give that to an owner-operator and keep a lighter load for their own truck. And when you're on a dedicated, so it's different. But in a general freight, they might be more likely because it would save them money, right? Dart truck just passed you. Do you think that guy's in the back of the trailer still works there? Yeah, does that guy in the trailer still work at Dart? Is that a real person? I always wondered if that was actually a driver. Dominican truck driver, you should be the official spokesman for truck drivers. That'd be great. I don't get elected for that. I'm the official spokesman of truck drivers everywhere. That'd be awesome. If I were president, I'd ban blue hair dye. What are you going to do now? Well, how are we going to find them? Oh, multi-stop pays money? That's true. Well, that's true. Cash is king. It's still average at $2.80, right? But the loads really pay 48 cents. It's just $100 a stop with 14 stops and 200 miles. So exactly. It still comes out to $2.80. Does Detroit still burn itself down on Halloween? No, there's nothing left there to burn. They do, but there's no one around to see it. It's like a tree landing, crashing in the forest. There's no one there to hear it. If Trump wins riots, if Biden wins war, I think it's going to be a problem. Later this week, yikes. Participation trophy stuff created this mess, Chef Matt. Oh, look, we're in the mess we created. It's like we all dug a hole and jumped in it. Now we're like, why are we in a hole? Oh, because we dug a hole. We allow this stuff to go on. We allow people to not work. I'm sick of hearing about people can't get a job. Everywhere I go, yesterday I'm out, at Meijer. They must have 10 signs up in the store that they're hiring starting at $12 an hour. Go to Meijer and go to work. Oh, well, I have a degree in art. I don't care. Okay, if you cannot take unemployment while there's a job, it's not right. Go get a job. Meijer will take you. I was asking the cashier. She's like, oh, my gosh. They had one cashier in the morning. So there's a big line. She goes, yeah, nobody else came in. I go, are they hiring? Oh, she goes, oh, my God, we can't wait to get more people in here. I saved for many, many years to buy my truck cash, says Joe. Now I have peace of mind that I don't need to kill myself working to make a truck payment. That's another good way to do it. And plus, if you don't like where you are or what you're doing, you can just do something else. So there is always that benefit to it. Even Dart, you never know. Any place, Falcon was a big place, okay? Arrow, big place. Celadon, big company. They closed. So you just never know. CF closed, right? We just don't know any company. Where I work, where you work, every place could close. So that's, a little nerve-wracking there. The people at, especially Arrow, lost their money. All the money they put in the truck, gone. The spray painted bridge were on I-80. I don't really remember seeing them. Dominican, I go back out tomorrow. What do you suggest? I'm not driving past 6. I don't think you're actually going to get results tomorrow. And at 6 p.m., especially Eastern, some states are still open. Like Hawaii and all the West Coast is still open. So I think it's going to be through the whole week. Carbondale, Illinois used to catch fire every year on Halloween. Is that because the Chicago River goes through there? Oh, Dart is a new guy in the back doors. Wow, Bill, maybe that guy retired. He'd been on there a long time. Hell, Lord, Mark, I don't know about that. I'm just one person out here. Every person that's on the back of the Dart trailer were once drivers. Even the females. What does that mean? Even the women were drivers. So, okay, I always wondered, is that really a driver? Because you could just hire somebody to do that. But that's good. Sergey, didn't he fight Rocky? That was Rocky 3, right? Wasn't that the one? You like the perspective? Can't take all the professional victims home over the road. Yeah, exactly. Look, okay, if you're out of work, I get it. Your job is closed. That happens a lot. I understand. There are other jobs. You can't just sit at home and say, I can't find a job because I have a master's degree in French literature and there's no jobs. Right, because you got a dumb degree. Go to Meijer and bag my groceries or something. Go do something. Any job. Every fast food, every place is hiring, at least around here. You have to go to work at whatever it is and then work from there to get something else. You can't sit at home if there's something available. I enjoy multi-stop freight, Alexandra. You do, but I hate it. I don't like doing single stops. I will tell you that. I just hate even doing a single stop. I love to drop and hook. It seems so much easier. or just drop the trailer. The only time, only open one door to look and see what's in the trailer. That's it. For you, if the stops work for you, and it does pay a lot extra, you don't have to drive as many miles. I like driving miles if I'm on the road. Give me those long miles. Give me coast-to-coast ice cream where you are. Hello from Ireland, looking for a change from Europe. All right, Eden Gallagher. Well, hello. Welcome from Europe. As I ask everyone, how much is gas there? I'm setting up tomorrow. I wouldn't mind if you would see the settlement here at DART if you want to look at the numbers. I wouldn't mind if you want to see the settlement here. Yeah, I'd love to see a settlement there. You're settling out tomorrow? Yeah. I think you can make money, but I think at that rate you're losing $1 a mile easy over what you could get per mile. So you're losing 3,800 miles a week. Even if your payment doubled, you'd still be money ahead. Buckeyes in Texas is advertising on billboards. $12 or $13.50 to start. There you go. Now there's something to be said for a job that you like, though. Okay, so there is something for that too. 2024 is going to be even crazier. It depends who wins. I mean, could you actually see, let's say Trump wins and then Ivanka, or I guess even if he loses and Ivanka runs in 2024? Are you kidding me? Because I've heard that tossed around. I don't know if she'd want to do it or whatever. I don't know. I haven't talked to her recently, so not sure. Why doesn't your company close? You're the only company that stays open that is like no worry of ever closing. They will stay open every day. Jarvis, if you're living on the road as an OTR driver, then how do you cast your vote? If constantly living on the road, aren't you screwed? No, at some point, you got to come home at some point. And voting, I think, is important. So what you do, I think, if this is your situation, ask for an absentee ballot from your state. When it comes, make sure to go home, vote, and send it in. Because voting is important. You can't be, oh, well, I'm on the road. Voting is one of the most important things we do. Rights that you don't use get taken from you. So that's how, not now. You can't absentee now. But that's for the next election, yeah. Ooh, 5G network is causing this early winter weather. Yeah, people say that, right? They're blaming everything on the 5G network. It's messing with people's minds. It's causing the weather. Fortunately, in Lafayette, we don't have it yet. But I do see the phone change over to 5G here and there. So I know Indy's got it. It's pretty fast, too. I tried it once. There are the jobs people just want to live on government. Walmart here in Myrtle Beach is 24 hours and hiring at 13 an hour. There's a job. So, okay, is it your dream job? Probably not. But if you need to work, you cannot take a check when there's a job available to you. That's wrong. And the government shouldn't allow it anyway. Why does the government allow this? You should also not be allowed any kind of assistance if there's a job available to you. So everybody in housing or whatever can't get that until they go work. And then they can say, all right, I found a job, I'm working, and then we base everything off of that. But you can't just say, well, there's nothing because it's not in my field. Like, look, your field is whatever's available to you at the moment. I would immediately do Uber Eats and work somewhere if I had to do it. That's what I would do. The shoppers are making good money here. You look, 13 an hour is not terrible. I mean, is that a great living? No, but it's something. Sergey does have his own channel. Does he talk about the movie? Home overthrow. Oh, home overthrow. You vote in every state. Well, that, of course, we don't endorse that here. Drummer to driver, you did early voting on home time. Yeah, a lot of states this year did it. You could have always done that in Indiana in case you live here. For about the month before the election, they have a lot of early voting around. We've always done that, at least for 10 years or so. So you could always go in and vote early. I voted Friday early here in Indiana in person. So because I really never trusted the mail to mail a thing. And people say, well, the mail. Look, would you put $500 in an envelope and send it to yourself, for example? Throw it in a mailbox and send it to yourself? No. You'd be like, well, no, I might not get it. Right. That's why you don't vote by the mail. I remember working on a farm making $4.75 an hour. I remember working at Arby's making $3.35 an hour. That was minimum wage then. Cash is king. 5G causes erectile dysfunction and balding. Right. Exactly. That's what we can use for an excuse now. Ask your doctor if the purple pill is right for you. Right now. Let's see. We had GP Transco on the show today, and I appreciate you coming in. You can call them if you want a truck. It may not be teal, but they are looking for drivers for sure. You're hungry? Great Plains will fill your refrigerator up with groceries and pay a salary, which I love. I love it. They just gave a raise at Schuster. How about that? Go to a company that people love. Schuster. How about that? There's the number. Yep. Fleet Nav Systems was here today. Now I have live on here. I didn't change it until the show started. I thought, crap, I should have changed it. They're not going to be live last week. Okay. They are not going to be live tomorrow, but they do a lot of live shows. They have tons of good information there. Somebody who is live, Cash is King Trucking. Did you know he's live all the time? He has a great channel over there. You should check him out for sure. Jay's also goes live every Tuesday and usually during the day around 1 p.m. Jay got this channel a big start by just kind of believing in the channel and everything, and I appreciate it because he believed in it probably more than me. And so he's the one that started all these crazy live shows. And so go say hi to Jay, would you? He's a great guy over there. And he does all the auto transport stuff. I don't know anything about it. Nothing other than I drive a car. That's all the auto transport. I've seen him coming off the truck. Dominican truck driver would work any job if he needed to. Right. It's like, oh, it's not going to be forever, right? But, it's going to be sometime. Fleet Nav Systems had to step away, catching the end. Thank you, though, for being here. I appreciate it. How Schneider Training can get your license. You can get your license, but Schneider, of all the places, Schneider still does household goods miles. You're going to lose 10% of your pay because of that. Maybe for tanker training, but yikes. Christina Jones, another great show. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Half of Maine is Atlantic time zone. Everyone who misses this detail. Oh, right. Yeah, half of Maine is in a different time zone. That's true. Cash is King has a new nickname. 5G is King. Have a great week. Everybody stay safe and vote. Fleet Nav Systems. Yes, everybody, look, if you haven't voted and you're going home, please vote. Vote. Next time, vote. Vote this time. Vote every time because there's enough people that don't vote, remember? That could change the whole election. More people don't vote than vote. Now, I don't know how it'll go this year, but that's how it works on a lot of years. Dominican truck driver, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you for being on the show today. Dave Johnson was here. Great to be here with everyone. Thank you for being here. Cash is King Trucking was here today. And please, he's probably live again already. But it's a great channel. Go check it out over there, would you? Home Over the Road is here. It's good to see you today. George Wilson, I appreciate you coming in. Drummer to Driver was here. Let's see, I had Christina first today, followed quickly by Alex, Over the Road Driver. Thank you for being here. Let's see, where am I? Oh, Jarvis Jones was here. Wild Bill was here. I hope you're doing okay over there, sir. Donkey Bite is here. And someday maybe your place will close, but they're not on track to do that. How about that? All right, I thought it was funny. Eden was here internationally from Ireland. Thank you for coming in. Alexandra, it's good to see you here today. Let's see, where did I go off to? But, of course, I have to head out to my company and do them some work anyways, or they will gripe at me. Okay, King Trucking, thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for that. Let's see, Maw's Place. Should I start with Swift or Schneider? Those two, Swift. They also don't have a contract at Swift. So Swift would be a better deal than Schneider. Swift at least pays practical miles from what I understand, right? Great show. We'll start prepping my meals for the next week. That's a good idea. I try to do that too. I will get that done a little bit later today for the week with all the Ziploc containers. Ziploc. I should get a Ziploc screen up there. It's Mr. Plow was here. I love that name, right? So Moises was here, and I appreciate all the information that you gave us on that today. JJ Hammer Down, Luke 1234 was here. Where am I? Oh, George Costanza was here. Thank you for being here today. Misty came in today. Amy was here with the information I didn't know about that, right? Jeff Rise was here. Let's see, where am I going? Oh, Gear Jammer, but I have to head out to my place or they will gripe at me, of course. Let's see, when I go over to this here. Oh, right. Be sure to vote. Please go vote. Vote. Tell everybody to vote. I'd rather you vote. Everybody voted for somebody that I didn't want than people just don't vote till like it isn't important, because voting is super important, I think. I mean, a lot of people died. A lot of people died and were maimed and everything else so that we can vote. It's super important. So I hope that you will go do it every year, every time there's an election. So please do. And otherwise, I'm headed out today. Thank you for being here. All into the cold. It's going to be warmer through the week, and I guess I'll get my, I don't know. I'm going to, don't forget to check out my lot lizard video. I'm going to. I'm going to. And I hope to see it in just a few minutes. So vote. We'll see you on the next show. Thanks for being here.